What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the seducer/producer, Nick Scarpino.
Hi.
You're in the classic Nick Scarpino Coke shirt. I haven't seen this in a long time.
I brought it out of retirement.
It was in retirement. It went to the rafters.
And you brought it down.
You brought it down for this occasion.
Like Michael Jordan.
Is that
first down,
what we do?
first retired jersey. There it is.
Yep, that's how it happens. Sports.
Over there, the Pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty.
Go Islanders.
You're wearing you brought your Monokumo shirt down from the rafters.
Yeah.
Everyone
He's
knows
the
him from
Japanese teddy bear.
Danganronpa 2.
Yeah,
And one.
Danganronpa 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I bought it when Aransky and I were in Japan.
It's true.
And it was a very the story actually me buying the shirt is no one obviously spoke English I was trying to buy it from, and I kept trying to get a medium, and they eventually told me like it's one size for everybody. And I was like, oh no.
Yep.
Because they're so much smaller than, fat Americans.
Yeah.
And I was, but it fits. I think it fits okay.
It fits really well. You look good in it. Don't doubt yourself.
Thank you.
Over there, the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Let's him host.
How you doing?
Good. Very good.
Really good, you say?
Yes.
All
Extremely
right.
good.
I'm surprised you're that good.
Because we're here with Mike Aransky.
Well, that's the thing over here.
Yeah.
The hype man, Mike Aransky.
The hype man.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
It's the first time.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Aransky is the man that makes IGN run over there. He works on the Daily Fix. Yep. Nobody cares about that. What he does is sometimes for Up at Noon, he comes in and he hypes up the crowd.
Right.
He tells them to clap. He has a great laugh.
Right.
He enjoys laughing. He likes Ghostbusters. That's when we bonded when he first showed up. He was wearing a Ghostbusters shirt. It's
really good.
At first, people wanted us to fight, and then we fell in love.
That's right.
And it was
Yeah.
fine.
Now he's a Nick Cage fan.
Yeah, he's a big Nick
This
Cage
is the
fan.
best shirt.
Yeah,
Oh,
who's this artist you always rep? You got the Harrison Ford plays.
Oh yeah.
Sega
yeah. No one wants
Master
to play
System.
Sega Master System with Harrison Ford. Brand.
Get on the mic.
sorry
Come
about
on,
that.
you watch the scoot
I
this
know.
in. Get in there. Get right up on it. Ah! Imagine you're making
I'm in
out with your
it.
high school sweetheart.
I'm in
You
it.
just won a cake competition. Go.
There we
Just
go.
imagine that if you're not near the mic, no one can hear you.
Okay.
Just imagine that.
right.
Mind's eye.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry, everybody.
Perfect. That's better.
Come with me.
Yeah.
In your mind's eye.
Yes.
Some Neil deGrasse Tyson up in there.
That was some Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. Brandon Bird. That's the artist that did those stuff.
Cool.
He's the man. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself for the kids at home. How long have you been in San Francisco? Where'd you come from? What do you do?
Formerly from the East Coast. Connecticut, New York.
You're still technically from the East Coast.
Yeah. Technically, it's always in my blood. That's how it works. I've been in San Fran for 2.5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
A little closer
Yeah.
to the
It
mic.
seems so
Two.
long.
I know.
Here we go. Nick's gonna tell you how to choke this.
I
shit.
just
Etiquette
wanted-
is-
right there.
Here we go.
The problem is we
I'm
have
like,
such
it's on my man breast.
we have
Like,
such
it's like-
amazing.
yeah, it's
No, you're
like
fine.
there.
Just lean into it.
I'm just.
Your man fun bags.
I
we
know
call
these
him here.
these babies gonna be popping soon, by the way, because they're just gonna have a good time. Smoking it.
Wait, they're popping out.
I don't know what
Or
that
they-
means.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I know they're doing it.
Sounds hot.
I know, right?
I'm so excited by this.
Yeah. So I've been in San Fran 2.5 years and good old times. Working IGN
Nice.
with all you fine folks. So,
Yeah, that's one way to put know what we are over
yeah.
here.
Fine
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
Now, Aransky, there's another fact about you.
Yes.
You're a punk ass bitch.
Whoa! What? Swinging.
What's up with this?
Oh, Pepsi.
Yeah. Oh my God. You're crazy.
This thing was it in my boob.
You're a punk
All right.
ass bitch.
Pepsi is the king of the colas. It's a fact.
If you're listening to the MP3, thank you for downloading the MP3. Tim, of course, always has his Mexicoke over there in a glass bottle.
That's
Pepsi.
Now, Aransky brings a glass bottle of Mexican Pepsi.
Yep. And it's delicious.
Tit for tat.
No.
Yep. Yes. It's just the way it is. I get it.
Pepsi
I'm
better?
cornered off by Coke, by the way, here, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to win this battle. So
Yeah.
it's, yeah. You know, I
You're
like
not
the
gonna win. That's a taste test
It's-
that Pepsi fans lose.
It's not. I've seen the Pepsi challenge.
I know.
We
tastes
always win.
Remember Ray Charles? You picked the right one, baby.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, there's rumors that the Pepsi's what made him go blind, but it hasn't been proven yet.
Jesus Christ.
It hasn't been proven
Makes
yet.
sense.
The,
Oh,
the,
my God.
the Pepsi challenge always bothered me because you could basically tell the difference between Pepsi and Coke just by looking at them.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Nonetheless, drinking them. So are you really going in and you're like, I don't know which one's Coke. Are you fucking kiddting me?
You think it's that
What
obvious?
universe
It's
are you
true.
from? 10 out of 10 times I can tell the difference between Pepsi and Coke. Like there's no, it's so obvious which one's which. Mexican
That I
Pepsi,
believe.
Mexican Coke.
That I believe. Well, maybe not on sight, but definitely on taste. You can tell.
Pepsi's darker.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
It is. Like look at a 2 liter. The glass doesn't show too well, but if you look at 2 liters, it's because this one is
Clear.
Pepsi.
This one's green.
Yeah, I can see
The
it.
glass.
I could give you a
least.
little definition. Jeff.
Pepsi's darker.
And more delicious.
But we do have to do the Colin Moriarty 10 out of 10 taste test.
I told you about my buddy Kevin. I'm going to Thanksgiving. I went
Yeah.
to Northeastern with him, and he lives in the Haight. And I went over to watch a Rangers-Islanders game with him last year, and he got mad at me. I'm like, I'm going to go get a Coke. We ordered pizza, and he's like, I have Coke in the fridge. I'm like, this is old Coke. This Coke's been here half open for months, and then he had like a can of Coke that was also old. And he's like, you can't fucking tell the difference between all these Cokes. And we did a taste test, and I nailed it. I was like, just watching him.
You're a joy to be friends with.
I was like, come on, man. Who are you trying to kid? Who are you trying to fool?
Ladies and gentlemen, this
Welcome.
is the Game Over Greggy show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table. Each bring a random topic.
I almost
Do it
missed
one more
it.
time.
I almost missed
One
it.
more time.
Okay. Each week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bringing a random topic of discussion for your amusement. Nick was getting trash in the comments because he misses it every time.
Every time. 50
Because you're right.
52
You have work
episodes
to
we've
do.
done this.
You have work to do. Yeah, this is our 1-year anniversary. It's a big moment for us. That's why we brought Mike on.
Yeah.
But stick with me, by the way, everyone, because I do realize that the first 7 minutes of the show, the audio sounded like someone was cramming hell through a thimble.
I was going to say, you looked concerned the entire time.
That's an awesome saying. Is that a real saying?
No, I just made that up.
Cramming hell through a thimble.
Yeah, it's
Got to make a
it's
shirt.
because
out
I
of
have to pull out the second board for you guys, and it's hard for me to get. It doesn't matter. I got it fixed now. I think it should sound good.
How
guys.
bad was it in the beginning?
That's fine.
Bad enough to restart?
How
No.
bad
Should we do-
was it?
Nice. Should we do a PSA in the beginning, you think? What's up, everybody? We're the Game Over Greggy show, and blah, blah. And then we'll cut that and put it at the front. I mean, could you do it now? But the people now, they'll understand. Now they'll organically see. This is like time travel. Wow. It's like in Bill and Ted when they were like, I'd put the keys here, and the keys were fucking there.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted was
Like,
a
how
great
did they
movie.
know that was going to work?
Bogus Journey.
You know what I mean?
What was? I'm sorry?
Bogus Journey.
Bogus Journey was better than the original Bill and Ted.
Take that bottle.
Yeah.
Take
You
that
like
bottle.
Pepsi and Bogus Journey more.
Smash that bottle
Bizarro
over your
world.
Oh, man.
You really are negative
Definitely.
Bizarro Tim over there.
I don't like
Yep.
it.
Each person of the 5 bring a random topic of conversation for your amusement. If you like that, of course, the show posts each and every Friday as a video in MP3. You can get them all at patreon.com/kindoffunny with a little bit of support. But if you don't have the money or don't think we're worth it, no big deal. You can go to youtube.com/kindoffunny the next week, and every topic goes day by day, topic by topic for your amusement until the entire show posts, and then it also goes.
To iTunes
Yeah.
and SoundCloud and all the other podcast apps that you guys like.
So go subscribe, like, share all those links, do all
rate,
that stuff.
Rate them.
Rate them. That's
Rate
big.
and subscribe on the iTunes, and then follow on SoundCloud.
Speaking of follow, Greg Way, we also have a show called Follow the Leader. It's brand new. It needs your support. Please watch it each and every Thursday where Eric Castro, a master bartender, shows you how to make amazing drinks, and also at the end tells you how you could get one named after you and sold at your bars. Not your bars, his bars.
Side note, did he come up? We just started randomly calling him master bartender, right?
Yeah, he's won competitions, and he's like nationally known.
Yeah, he's like one of the most
there's
renowned.
He
one.
invented a
Talked about
drink.
bartenders.
No, because I was cutting one of them with mine, and I said it, and he was like, "That's not. Those are your words, not my words." Like, I don't think I don't know if he's comfortable with that.
No, it's
moniker,
'cause you
and I
gotta
was
be
very
humble. He's gotta be
very
humble.
It's like everyone calling us internet superstars. And I'm like, guys, not until we have 100,000 YouTube subscribers.
My
That's
thing
the
is
goal.
this:
Every
it's
single
almost
election.
like when people refer to me as president and you as vice president, because that 2016 election is a damn,
Inevitable.
it's a shoe-in.
It hasn't.
It's a
that,
lock.
the election hasn't happened, and everyone knows that the
Cheetos is out there campaigning right now.
the
under
real
the moniker,
victory
the banner of love.
happens over at districtlines.com/kindoffunny. Buy your shirts there. You can either buy the correct shirt, Moriarty Miller for president, or
That'd be silly.
the party stupid shirt over here.
The party stupid.
Hey, it's us, everybody. It's me. It's Zac Efron. It's the Franco we all like, and it's us. That's your party.
That's,
I'd actually kind of like to go to that party.
Yeah, I know.
That
What?
sounds like an awesome party. You're basically just describing what was that movie with
The
Seth
movie,
Rogen
not
with
the
The
end?
World's
Yes,
End?
Neighbors.
The World's End.
Neighbors.
World's
Neighbors.
End.
Oh,
No.
you're doing Neighbors.
I literally named 2 of the actors. The
Oh,
2 actors
no.
I named are from
well,
Neighbors.
Frank, James Franco was not in Neighbors.
James
Armageddon
Franco's
movie.
younger brother, I said.
Dave Franco.
Jackass.
I wasn't listening
This
to you.
again?
This is the end.
This is the end.
Yes.
This is the end.
Yeah.
Real quick, too, Nick, I forgot to talk about this earlier, and I
Yeah.
just did it again. We need to kiss.
We have to kiss?
Yeah, everybody says I was too mean to you last episode.
No, you're fine.
I don't, but I love you so much. Come on, big
There
guy.
it is, everyone.
It's
It's
okay.
fine. It's all in good
I
spirits
watched
here.
that and I was like, I guess it's just because I know you guys, but I'm
Yeah.
like that they think Greg's mad at Nick.
Yeah, well, it's just because I shit on Nick a lot, but it's because Nick and I have that vibe. That's how we do it.
No, what happens is this. I say something that I think is funny. And screw
Kind
you
of
guys. I look to Greg for validation. And if he doesn't give it to me, it is soul crushing. And he withholds it sometimes.
No.
Sometimes I can tell that he
Yeah.
thinks it's funny, but he's
but,
just withholding
but I
it like
know
my
that
wife withholds
interaction
love.
is kind of funny.
It's
Hey!
just like it'll be kind of funny when I win the election in 2016.
Damn.
All right, thanks for
Be
getting
kinda
back to that.
devastating
Actually,
for the country.
This is it. This is where it pays off to be a Patreon fan or someone watching this YouTube instead of the giant video. If
Yeah.
you're watching this on Patreon Friday or
YouTube
Patreon
Sunday.
Saturday or YouTube Sunday, there's a sale at districtlines.com/kindoffunny right now. You can get all the shirts at a discounted price, including the brand new This is what baller feels like t-shirt.
Is this what baller?
I apologize. I did not realize it was a question. I thought
It
we
is
were
a
explaining what it is.
No, it's a question.
This
No,
is,
'cause
and
we
this is, of
don't-
course, this is an inside joke, the baller reference forever from a Game Over Greggy show a long time ago. But it also pops up in this week's Follow the Leader, which you can catch as well. It's new now.
It's it's probably the most tasteful of all of our shirts. It's humble. It's precocious.
It's simply asking a question.
What's the
combustible. Magnanimous. It's
Magnanimous.
magnanimous.
Very
I
nice.
love it that you're
Very nice.
doing it, trying to use it to take a subtle dig at Sean Finnegan, who likes hiking, and then you can't even say it yourself. You're like, just reaching for what it was. You know it's out there
It's very magnanimous.
in the ether. Very magnanimous.
Hugely magnanimous.
Let me see. I'll make sure I got all the housekeeping out of the way. Yep. Oh, also that we put up the exclusive Patreon episode last week.
Yes, we
and,
did.
and again, if you're listening to Patreon Friday, then you see it on Thursday. It's in the activity feed. If you aren't a patron and would like that exclusive episode, an hour and a half of our content that you can get nowhere else, you can just go get it. It's all the old Patreon shows are going to be up there still. You can go see them at your will. You don't have the money now? Maybe later you give us some money. No big deal.
Really cool.
Everybody's cool.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yep.
The guest always goes first on the Game Over Greggy show. It's you got to bring the thunder right now.
No.
Oh, you're
Wait.
drinking too.
I'm working. I just Colin woke me up.
Stop.
It's waiting there.
Stop.
Before you bring the
something's
thunder,
wrong.
lean into that mic like it's the first woman you've ever kissed.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm
That's
gonna
not
get
where I
I'm
want
just-
you.
I'm gonna get it away from you, boobies.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can you do this?
What?
Hold on. No, it's fine. Just go. Just talk.
What? Okay, I'm still talking. Okay.
This.
Yep.
Keep talking.
I'm
You're not
talking.
carrying the show.
I'm doing it. Hey guys, we're Greg's just hooking me up here.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I know it
What's
sucks.
going on? Okay, we're
I realize that
talking.
we put you in the
Yep,
guest
fixing
chair,
up that mic.
which is always just a little
Why
bit
would we put the guest
farther
in the
away.
guest chair? Huh?
I know, that makes sense.
That makes no sense at all.
There you go. No, you're fine. Now
All
it's
right,
not gonna
Aransky.
cut into your boobs because I got boobs because I'm a member of Team Fat as well.
I got boobs
Yeah.
too. Greg is
Team
not a
Fat,
member of Team
nothing wrong
Fat,
with
and truth be told, his membership card has
much
not
better.
been valid. It has not been up to date in a long time.
Now you're doing this. Here's my
anything.
fucking
I'm
problem.
I'm still
Tell
with
me
you,
about
Greg.
this.
Thank you. Here's my
Tim,
problem.
you've never been a member of Team Fat.
Yeah, but I'm with him on being a member.
Here's
Team
my
Fat.
problem
You're an outskirt member of Team Fat.
with all the Team Fat hate from last week. You're all of you watching who tweeted at me, you're a bunch of fucking cowards. You got one piece of information from Moriarty. He's over here, the Red Scare. He just says everything's wrong, and you all believe him. He's never led you wrong before, huh? You all enjoyed Little Deviant and Stin and shit. I
You'll
am
never
still
let
as
me
fat
live
as
that one
ever.
down.
It's like the
Oh,
one time
man.
you're wrong. And you weren't even that wrong. You're just like, that could be cool.
We ready to 3. And I was like, that looks fun.
I am still Team Fat till the day I die. And as I pointed out when we first started selling Team Fat t-shirts, they shouldn't be in small. And I was like, Team Fat's a lifestyle. It's a mindset of eating what you want to eat. And this is what I thought, because I have fucking stewed on this since my honor was called into question by one Colin Moriarty.
It was lambasted. I mean, it
And
was
what
like-
I've come to
Magnanimous.
deal, I think a big
It's a
part.
Streisand effect.
I thought we weren't going to interrupt anybody anymore. That was the other thing we've been yelled at everybody. 1 year
Nick
in.
specifically said,
I'll never
I'll
do it
never
again in the
do it
car.
again.
I'll never do it in the car. I want to call it the fact that I think I am more Team Fat than Colin based on the fact that I'm too lazy to exercise, and you exercise every day to maintain your Team Fat lifestyle.
I think that's the benefit to that. Yeah.
I think that's bullshit. I think that's complete bullshit.
I'm just saying that it was like, I'm sure we're all familiar with the seminal film The American President, where I sat there and I was taking it on the chin last week from fucking Richard Dreyfuss over here, but now I'm swinging back. And I'm Greg Miller, and I am the president.
Dude,
That movie is awesome.
that was a great movie.
God, I love
I
that
always get that
movie.
movie confused with Dave. Where Kevin Kline just looks a lot
He's
like the president.
Not even a lot
yeah,
like
yeah,
he
yeah,
looks
like-
just like
I
him. He
mean,
is.
it's pretty much the same actor. But
Sigourney
that was,
Weaver's
that
in
was
it,
a
too.
great, in the spirit of mending our relationship, excellent Michael Douglas reference.
I love. That's one of those things I don't talk about enough. I fucking love Michael Douglas.
Save it for the show,
I
Greg.
mentioned it this week about the game, and now American President. I will stop. I also am a big fan of his
game.
his
Oh,
work
that's
with Catherine Zeta-Jones. I will table it for another time now.
What happened to her? By the
They're
way,
gonna be.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. I mean, you could say you can feel how you want. Everyone can make their own decisions, right?
Yeah.
They can all figure
Yeah.
out. You come back at me in this Hamilton Aaron Burr fucking duel,
Yes.
and you say that I exercise and therefore I'm not Team Fat. But we went to Burger King.
I said I was
today.
bigger
No!
Team Fat than you. No, you'll have your moment in the sun, Mr. Moriarty, the senator from Long Island.
We went to Burger King after work,
Just now, like an hour, 2 hours ago.
and you didn't get anything.
Because
I get for dinner.
You're just like, that's it. That's the end of the statement.
For dinner, you had 2 tortillas with some chicken in them.
Fried chicken,
with,
yes.
With hot sauce.
And
like
American
3
cheese,
wings.
And American cheese. And my leftover
I had a
wings.
double Whopper and 8 chicken nuggets and an extra large Coke and a fry.
Now, are those 8 chicken nuggets including the 2 I ate?
No. Yes.
I ate one
No.
of them.
What story can you believe, ladies and gentlemen? The fact
It all falls
changing.
apart.
I just want everyone to know and realize that this is the party that you're not supposed to vote
I
for.
know, we're coming up
They
You were
are-
good.
The other thing I forgot to pimp too. Sorry, if you're watching this on Friday, Colin and I are doing right now a live stream Black Friday Monopoly Championship. And if you aren't catching it live, it'll be archived. I'm so sorry, Mike Aransky. It's usually not this heated.
It's okay. I'm taking it. I'm just enjoying us.
You know what it is?
It's not really heated.
No, not at all.
It's because you're a guest. We're trying to show off for you.
I understand.
Mike
That's
loves
not
us.
a
He
show.
loves us. We love him.
Yeah, I love this.
We're
This is great.
peacocking right
Mike,
now.
what's your
I'm
fucking
a big
peacocking.
fan. Like watching the, like I'm like in the middle.
Mike,
of the show.
what's your topic tonight?
My topic is so here's the deal. Big Disney fan, huge Disney fan. I love the
you're not
Disney
wrong.
parks.
Another one.
Yep.
Oh, you love the park. Oh, I
like-
guess Tim loves the parks.
Yeah,
Do you love everything Disney like Tim does?
Tim is hardcore on the princesses.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
what if?
And there.
What if
Yeah.
52 weeks ago we started a show and
Yeah.
your topic was what princess you want to fuck? Is that how you would introduce yourself to the world?
That's how we started.
the bet we literally the entire time. Should we be like?
Tim is
we should be a little bit more
hardcore
reserved. We
with
should be
this.
super
You're
reserved.
hardcore with
Hey, this is great. So let's do a podcast. Yeah, a podcast. That's a great idea. Hey, what should our topics be? Let's make them reserved. Let's just talk intelligently about like real things that people care about. Right
nailed
up.
it.
Tim, what's your topic? What Disney girl would you go down on?
Jesus.
Wait,
There
was
we
the
go.
first
Under
episode?
the sea.
That was the very first episode.
There you go. This is full circle. We're
Yeah,
a year
nice.
into this. We've made a Disney
Oh, yeah.
conversation.
I like
Do I
this.
need to sing any sort of Queen?
All right, you're a Disney fan.
All right, big time Disney fan, huge Disney park fan. The big question on the table here is this: Disney parks, Disneyland, Disney World, all the other ones in the world. Do you like them? Yes or no? And then why?
No.
That's not a question. That's not an answer.
Oh my God!
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I respect Disney parks. I don't like them. I
my
don't
God.
find any fun in the I'm getting spun around, I'm getting motion sick, I'm going over this thing, I'm doing over that thing. Then the lines, don't get me started on the lines. The food,
passes,
not
bro.
great.
Bass. There you go.
Yeah, but I don't even want to go on the rides. The other thing, I'm getting drug along. Then you gotta wait in line where you hold people's purses while they go up and they get in the thing with the chains and the swings and they go around, or you get on the Dumbo and the Dumbo goes around. It's like it's fucking.
You ran the
serious.
wrong ride.
This is
Yeah, I don't
not-
know which one you be going.
Yeah,
on
this
there.
is-
I went to California and I went on fucking fly away over California, cruising California,
Soaring over
There you go,
California?
whatever.
Soaring's great.
Where Putty talks to me,
I love it.
and they spray like
Orange
they
scent.
spare air freshener.
Yeah.
And that
Really good.
made me
that
tense
beautiful
up.
music.
I was afraid I was gonna fall to my death.
Well, you didn't though. You
No,
soared.
I didn't. And then I went
You
on the
soared over
I went on
California.
the Tower of Terror there.
Ooh.
Oh, the Tower of Terror is awesome. Especially because the Tower of Terror is awesome specifically because of the Twilight Zone tie-in.
Yeah.
At least that's the way it was when I used to.
Yeah,
I don't know if
still
it's
is.
Still that.
Because the Twilight Zone is one of the great shows of all time. And if people don't like the Twilight Zone, you don't like science fiction.
Yeah.
And I'm calling you out right now.
Get that Rod Sterling respect.
Rod
on that.
Sterling is
You
fucking
know what it is?
the man.
It's
Yeah.
almost as bad as pretending that you're still a part of Team Fat,
Oh, now you're just gonna pile
but
on. shit.
just running in the other direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My favorite thing about
I
Scarpino
believe
too
it.
is like he pretends to be Team Fit. And he just fucking eats shredded meat, and he goes to Burger King, and as if he couldn't sink any lower, he gets this like fucking disgusting plastic container with one goddamn patty.
had
in
it
it.
his
Three
way.
patties. Went upon 3 patties.
Hate,
My
hate.
favorite part of that is my favorite part is trying to explain to the person that works at Burger King that you're low carb and having him just stare at you.
Well, yeah,
like-
no. You walked up to him and you're like, "Can I get a triple Whopper?" And all of us assholes in the back, "Whoa!" And then you're like, "But no bun. Just can you just put lettuce?" And then the guy goes,
What?
Yeah, he lost it. He was
yeah.
like,
and then they
patties
come
and
back with just a plastic thing with a bunch of shit. in it.
He-
You're-
to his
you're like,
credit, though,
it's good.
"Did you see how he arranged it?
Yeah,
It was like
nice.
3 beautiful patties laid out like in like sort of like a procession, really, with onion rings on top laid out like they looked like the logo from the Olympics for the most part.
Oh, okay.
A smattering, if you will, of mayo on the side, just because he didn't ask, but he's like, I'm not gonna put mayo on it if this guy doesn't want it.
This guy's
Ketchup.
clearly a psycho.
Circled in, and his phone number just tucked right into the
in between bun number bun number 1 and 2.
Yeah. Choke on my phone number.
So no, nobody likes Disney. Disney sucks. You're all
This is
alone.
fucking best, dude. It is so the best for so many reasons. Fireworks, it's the best fireworks. You're not getting better fireworks anywhere else.
Fireworks are another topic, but they're stupid too.
What?
Yeah, they are stupid. Disney fireworks, though,
No,
they're not
beautiful.
stupid. They're syncopated to music. Awesome music. Because number 2, the music. It's awesome. The theme, everywhere you go, every different land has its own feel. You go, there's different food. The Dole Whip.
Dole Whip's
The
that's
fucking
the
Dole
bomb.
Whip?
I don't know
What's
what that is.
what's a Dole Whip?
Oh, you haven't experienced Disneyland then. That's why you
Yeah,
don't like
yeah,
it.
You
Disney
need
World.
to go in.
What's a Dole? No, we've talked about this a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Disneyland is the best.
Yes.
Well, I've been to
Yeah, I have
Disneyland,
not been
actually.
to
I
any
disagree.
other ones.
I disagree.
But
Oh.
Disneyland it's everything in one thing. Disney World's a little too big.
It's too big.
You have to
I
spend
don't
too much time doing a little too
Spent a whole
much.
day at Epcot.
Get that
I,
Epcot.
I like that Epcot.
The hoop-de-doo room.
Epcot's
Yeah.
fucked up.
What?
Epcot's fucked up.
What?
What does that
I'm not
mean?
feeling it.
What?
I don't know. It's just Disney. I've been to Disney World maybe 8 times, and I've been to Disneyland twice, I think. And first of all, Disney World as I got older, I haven't been there since I was in high school.
Okay.
I used to go every year.
Wow.
With my one of my best friends' families because
Okay.
they would go every year, and it freaks me out. I mean, like it's a cool place. I appreciate what Disney's all about. I have a lot of love for Disney properties. Most of them, I would say, I really love. You know, I have a soft spot for a lot of that stuff. It's just that this place is too fucking weird for me. It's like because underneath, because you see the old shows on the History Channel, you read books or whatever. It's just like a whole city of fucking people
Tunnels.
underneath. Yeah, like,
yeah.
and there's just old rides that they don't update or they just kept around forever. Epcot Center itself, or like what's that one ride where you're in the globe?
Oh, it's the planet
Space Mountain?
Space Mountain. No,
No,
Space Mountain.
like the one it's
Spaceship
like
I know
Earth.
that's
Spaceship
not
Earth.
yeah, like that shit's old. Like
Yeah.
there's just shit there that I'm like, this doesn't feel right. This feels like I'm trapped in another time, and I don't like it. Like when I like Six Flags parks, I like. You know, Universal Studios is awesome. Like Cedar Point is still my favorite park anywhere in the world. But so Disney's got a special place, but I don't feel the hankering to go there. I don't like Disney as much as Tim does, but or
there's a
Aransky. I know
difference,
Aransky.
though.
I know full well how much
Yeah.
Aransky loves because we went to fucking Tokyo Disney.
Right. We just want to point this out. We've been in Japan twice.
Yep.
We stayed on the property at Disney in Japan the first time. Both times you have not gone into that park.
No, won't
you
do it.
Tokyo Disney. No one's
Because that's
you're
next
never
level for
gonna
me.
go
I don't know
there.
if I can do it. That's just too much for me.
Oh my god.
It's just too much.
Tokyo
I'm,
Sea.
I'm like, I'm
Oh my
going
God.
back to the hotel and I'm gonna watch
yeah.
shit
You've
on
never been to
TV
Tokyo
that I
Disney,
can't
right?
understand.
No, I've only been to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Out of the Disney parks.
Tokyo Disney's like
Did you go to Tokyo Disney?
yeah.
Oh, you did?
First year I
Okay.
went to TGS. We flew in and we had like an extra night and none of us could sleep and we were like let's hit up Disneyland for a couple hours
Fucking get wild.
and just go crazy and it's an experience. It's like because they have stuff. Most of it's similar.
Yeah.
They've got the Indiana Jones ride that we could get to. That Indiana Jones. They had the Tower of Terror. But they
Yeah,
had
Tower
some-
of Terror, definitely not the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, by the way. It's like this ridiculous. Wait, did you go to the?
I didn't actually get onto the Tower of Terror. I just saw it.
Don't
and
they
we went
tell a
to go
different
stand
story?
in line.
Yeah, it's like this ridiculous museum story about this artifact that comes to life and tries to throw people in elevators.
Was Eddie
it's
Murphy
ridiculous.
there?
Huh?
Was Eddie Murphy involved?
He might have been involved.
He's just there
Did
like
you see the
shaking
Tower of
people's
Terror
hands.
Disney movie?
Oh my
With
god!
Eddie Murphy.
That was a real
It was
bad.
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 It was real
movie.
bad.
Yeah.
But
Wait, Tower.
The
No,
next
he did Haunted Mansion.
You're right.
Yeah, right. Tower of Terror was.
Fucking burnt. You burnt.
Yeah. The Steve Guttenberg movie with Tower. It's a Tower of Terror film. That's a fact.
I like that.
I know. There you go.
the Goot. Mike
the
Aransky,
Goot.
by the way, is one of the only people that can by far out-reference me that I know.
What with movies?
With movies, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like because you go deep into the roster. I can tell you who was in movies and what the titles were, but you'll go like who directed them, who produced
Assistant
them.
Who was the best
cinematographer's
boy?
best friend.
Yeah.
Is it now? Is that?
That movie
I
had a great
mean,
gaffer.
you're a trained filmmaker.
I guess.
Is it also that you owned a video store at one point, correct?
A video game store.
Video game store.
But I actually managed a bunch of video stores like Blockbuster Video.
Oh, that people remember that.
Hold
You've
the
read
fuck
about
up.
those in your
You
history.
managed a Blockbuster?
Yeah, I did.
What?
Dude, I would have absolutely loved you, and here's why.
Yeah.
If you'd have been my friend back then, we would have been friends. Or we would have we would have been friends if I'd have known you.
Yeah, that's true.
I would have come in and you would have given me free movies and Butterfingers. I just really liked the Butterfingers.
Is that part of the Blockbuster experience for you?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hookup?
Dude, the Butterfingers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Butterfingers are under.
We need to make Blockbuster its own
The
topic.
concession boxes. Yeah.
we should
God,
make
we
that.
should.
Well, yeah,
That's
for
next
I'm
another,
gonna write
time
that
coming.
down.
that's for another day.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
have to do that.
I want to come back into that for that one.
Okay.
Blockbuster topic.
I have a soft spot in my heart for Disneyland. I grew up in Southern California. I used to go to Disneyland once a year.
How many people
work
you know
at
work
the
there?
one
I was gonna say how many.
I still know people that work there. I have friends that still work for Disney because if you're in Orange County, chances are at some point you've worked for Disney if you're in theater or entertainment on some level. So all of my friends, they have this thing called overhire where when they're striking or loading in a set, they have overhire, people that they just randomly hire to come in and take stuff down because Disney's insane. Like the second something's done, they strike it. It has to be out of the park and done by the next day when the park opens. So think about all the installations you've ever seen there. How many people do you think it takes? And it's all coordinated, and they just go in there. And so I worked with one of my friends. Friends who does lighting for a lot of stuff at IGN was like, "Yeah, I gotta go. One of his guys was like, "I gotta go to a Disney thing," and he'd been up since like 6 a.m. It was like gonna go all night and then come back to finish our thing. And I was like, "Dude, you're insane."
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Making that money, hustling.
making them dollars.
I appreciate
But
that.
yeah, I mean, I love Disneyland kind of for the opposite of why you're saying you don't like it. Is I like that feeling of being in a different time. Like when they redesigned some of the stuff, they redesigned Tomorrowland, and it was like they kind of made it that retro future, and I was like, this is kind of cool.
Have you been to Space Mountain over the last with the Michael Gianoshi? Is it Gianoshi? How do you pronounce this? I screwed this. The guy who did the music for Score. I mean, the music for Lost. Wow, I had a brain fart there.
Wow,
The music,
Wow.
hammered, ladies
did.
and gentlemen.
He did the score for Lost.
Okay.
That is the same guy who did the music. He's rebranded the music for Space Mountain.
It's
Really?
legit.
Yeah.
It's my favorite
It's awesome,
version
right?
of the Space Mountain.
I just put in earbuds and I put Duel of the Fates in.
That's
Just
a good
listen to
idea
that.
too.
I just
There
have
you
to rip through that and just imagine Darth Maul not dying. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Is that how it goes?
Like, just everyone
bring him
close
back.
your eyes for a second and imagine a world where Darth Maul didn't die.
I'm
Come with
confused.
me.
Is there a Star Wars thing here, or is yours?
I just Disney on Star Wars now. I'm
Yeah,
just
well,
kinda-
have they
it's a
done that? That's
really
the
loose
one thing.
reference.
If they start doing Star Wars and Marvel shit, then I'll be like, all right.
I mean, yeah, they've had Star Wars forever. There's a Star
Star Tours.
Tours.
What's that?
It's
Oh, they
it's a
have,
ride.
that's right.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
ride that like it's one of those like motiony. There's
it pod racing?
theater thing.
You can. You're
Now
actually
there is
part of
pod
it.
racing, yeah.
Pod racing.
And,
now
Yeah.
this is pod racing.
They also do this like Star Wars installation thing where they teach you like they teach little kids a Jedi Academy, and it's the best
Oh yeah.
because they teach little kids how to be Jedi. You need to make your little girl a Jedi.
That's right.
There's a video on YouTube that if Kevin was here, he would put in
I'll find it. I'm here.
of this little girl, and it's like the Mace Windu type character that's like teaching the kids how to be Jedis, and he's like, oh, like Darth Vader's here, we have to defeat him, and then Darth Vader walks up, and the girl just like gets down and just like submits to the dark side, and it's the fucking best thing in the
That's
world.
Wow.
awesome.
That's amazing.
Side note, Tim, Darth Vader walks in and is like, I'm going to kill all of you unless you guys submit to the dark side. What do you do?
To DV?
It's a DV.
Yeah.
It's a big DV.
He doesn't. There's no submitting to the dark side. He comes in and he kills everybody. Period. That's what he
would-
does.
I think he would
He
probably...
waxes all
Yeah,
those
he doesn't
kids.
really have-
It's-
This little girl
enjoying it.
straight up kneels though. It's the fucking best.
I just think, if I can lament on this for a second, I feel like he would kill all 4 of us, but he might see something special in Tim that he can like exploit.
Darkness
Yeah.
that's
You gotta-
in,
you gotta-
in my heart.
I could make him strong.
You
You know
know
what I
it
mean?
to be
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah. This is
No,
how-
that's good.
Becomes a
That's
bounty
good.
hunter.
I like
Pure
that.
one, a challenge.
Darth Vader ain't coming at me. You kidding me?
You try to pull that Han Solo shit where you just take the gun out and start shooting. He just does that shit where he's like,
I would do that just so
whatever,
Boba Fett came out, and I'd be like, "Oh shit, it's Boba Fett! All right, you can kill me now."
Oh shit, it's Boba Fett.
Come on, do Boba Fett.
Yo, it's cool how you're a
Don't
clone.
mess with that.
Oh god, I was.
Ali.
you remember me? I wasn't that bad.
IGN tweeted out the best picture of Boba Fett the other day though, which was the because the 2016 movie is supposed to be maybe about bounty hunters.
Yeah.
And that awesome shot of him like holding the gun on Jabba's skiff in Return of the Jedi with the blue skies behind him. It looks so fucking good. Oh, it's so good. That shot is so awesome.
'cause he had the
it looks so good in that. He looks awesome in the armor with like.
He had the coolest armor by far, and the coolest helmet.
Looks like a janitor with a gun and a helmet. His frumpy body
You're
up there.
You're a piece of shit with your Boba Fett comments. How
Done.
dare you, sir? You can talk about Bosk or Zuckus like that, but no one's talking about Boba
Hey,
Fett.
Boss is not bad. Come on.
Talk about Boba Fett like that. Talk about IG-88 like that. I'll throw you out of goddamn window.
Just throw Boss down. It's okay. There you go.
I think when I trace back, you know, like in second grade we went to Disney World, drove the motorhome from
Really?
Chicago
Oh,
to
wow.
Orlando.
You had a
Florida.
motorhome.
Yeah.
Made the
That's
wallet.
awesome. I've always wanted a motorhome.
It was fun. It was cool. There was good times and bad times in that motorhome.
Seems fun.
As you know, I was a kid, so I puked a lot, so that wasn't fun for them. My parents.
Because you were weird that you puked a lot. It wasn't because you were a kid. It's because
Yeah.
you were
I
weird.
think kids puke a lot too. They're always just one step away. It's one foul move, one fucking tummy ache, one hot dog away from just disaster.
Just done.
Greg Miller, those hot dogs.
I ate a lot of hot dogs. There
Does
was
not hold well.
Now we're on to a different story where I ate a couple hot dogs, yeah, and then went to Bouncy Castle, and then went and just vomited all over a porta potty at like the fair. Like this has nothing to do with it. And then another time I ate cherry pie, and vomited at another fair.
Where was Where was Big
you're
Jamie
like,
during all
She's
this?
there with the bucket.
You're like-
hating her life and regretting her decisions.
You're like the comedy
fucking up.
relief in like a bad 80s film.
Yep.
Where it's like, hey, let's take a break from this weird teen drama to show the young kid with the glasses pork all over the place.
It's true. I can't argue these facts that you're giving. But went to Disney World. I'm having a good time, but I was always against rides. I don't like the rides that twist me and turn me and make me feel sick or whatever, or have the scary drops or whatever. And so my mom, you're in line forever because these places suck. And you have the
You were
chance to.
doing it so wrong.
In 1990,
Yes.
whatever, there weren't fast passes. In the
true.
early
No, there
90s,
definitely weren't.
used to
Listen,
just
I'll
sit.
give you guys a little pro tip though. If you ever want to go to Disneyland, Disney World, and you want to go, and there's no lines.
fake wheelchair.
No, well, that's good too. That one does work also.
Fake hip dysplasia.
That also works also.
Vomit.
I don't
Doesn't
know on
work.
that one.
That doesn't
That does
work
not
at all.
work. Yeah. So my pro tip is this: we went in September this year. The first week in September, no lines.
Back at
School
school.
starting.
Yeah. School's
Isn't
starting.
that
You
like
can just fly through anything and do anything. You don't have to worry
Easter
about
or Christmas, one of those.
Definitely not Christmas.
Yeah, not
Right,
Christmas.
not right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
it. Yeah.
Anyways, we
dare
went there.
you.
Yeah.
Ask is there anything scary on this ride? There's nothing scary on this ride. Get on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah,
Caribbean.
you told us this.
Did I tell us on the
Yeah,
show?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I won't even go through
No,
the.
hey, dude, go
There's
for
new
it.
listeners
Aransky
every
hasn't
time.
heard this.
I heard this, right?
So we're on. Well, thanks for watching the show. You
Hey,
piece of
sorry.
shit.
I usually
You get in
do
the
one
boat
of
and you're going, and then it starts to go like. Tick, tick, tick. I'm like, this sounds like a ride, Mom. She's like, no, it said it was fine. I'm like, this sounds like. And like, there's that drop. At the very
yeah, the
beginning.
first time,
The two
yeah.
drops.
Yeah.
There's two.
Yeah.
And then Willy Wonka
Wow.
came out and started saying the. Forget it.
Yeah.
Anyways, the drop happens, and I immediately just lose my shit as a second grader, and I'm screaming and crying and screaming for help, and I'm ruining the ride for everyone on this thing that waited like the 5 hours in line.
People probably tell this story about
Sure. And my mom's
All
like,
through school.
my mom's like, I'm right here, and I'm like, not you, the people behind the walls. I wanted that ride to fucking stop and for them to open one of the fucking doors and get me out, and it never happened. So I had to struggle on. And so like from that moment on, every fucking ride we were in line for was like, is this a ride? No. He's scared of Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, really? Yeah. Well, no, he should be fine. Blah, blah. And there was like one where I forget what it was, where you get in the theater and you move around and like a family, you go through their timeline or whatever. Like they're all robots or whatever, and they start as babies and then they become something or whatever.
Oh, I think it's the same one. That's Spaceship Earth again.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
There you go.
That's
And,
Spaceship
like,
Earth.
Right between the first and second section when we started spinning, like I grabbed the thing and it just did like the hardest fucking stop. Like something abruptly stopped, and we were like, that was probably for us. Like if you had to get out of here, I was like, oh, thanks, Mom.
That's funny.
Looking out for you.
Yeah,
That's good.
something all right.
Yeah.
Stop.
I don't know.
Have you taken your daughter?
I have taken my daughter twice.
How old is she?
She is less than 2 years old. She's almost 2 years old. I took her 6 months, which was so. Here's the reason why I took her, because kids are free until 2. So I'm going to abuse the situation and take my child now, because it won't cost me anything until I have to get into that.
I've
mindset.
considered having kids just because of that.
Yeah, the free pass.
Wait, do you get in free too?
No, I don't get free pass. But the kid gets them free. So
He
you're like,
doesn't remember anything.
Yeah, well,
there's
no.
a burden weighing you down. It's
yeah.
like
Well,
a fucking Yoda that keeps puking and shitting on your
yeah.
back.
Yeah, you're just like me. It's like
Also, is it just like it must be traumatizing for a child who doesn't really understand the world to see a giant mouse come at her?
she. Here's the funniest thing. My kid freaked out when she met like Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
She's like,
Because they're terrifying.
But my kid loved Pirates of the Caribbean at 6 months.
Oh, nice.
And then she loved it a year and a half because we took her again at that point. So I've taken her twice into.
Did she like Mickey and Minnie then?
No, she hates them too.
No,
She's a
okay.
big
Yes.
Johnny Depp fan, though.
Yeah, she's all about that Jack.
And have they redone Pirates of the Caribbean to be all the Pirates?
Johnny
of the
Depp's in it.
Depp's
Yeah, he
He's
pops
in, like
up in
throughout
and
it. He's like popping up and doing
Yeah,
Johnny
yeah.
Depp stuff.
Yeah.
And it ends with him.
yeah.
What if
He's
it's
all over it.
really just Johnny Depp? That's what he does.
Yeah.
When he's not making bad.
Yeah, no,
He's
it's actually
weird, so
Johnny
he would
Depp.
do something like that. He's like, I'm gonna spend an entire year doing this ride for every day,
Every ride.
for 18
Yeah.
hours a day.
I'm going on
Every
it.
ride. I'm just
awesome.
gonna.
He's
pop
a method
up
actor.
randomly.
Yeah.
He really is. He's that
His
character.
next
for
part is a
life.
robot.
He also plays the same character in every movie,
Yeah.
just like
Oh, yeah.
just like Jeff Goldblum.
He does.
Yeah.
The Goldblums.
But
Goldblum's
Goldblum
the
does
man.
it. Goldblum does it better.
Yeah,
Let's
I
be
agree.
honest.
Yeah, there's no one.
I said
no
I
one
declared on
does
Twitter today, Jeff Goldblum was on that Jurassic World movie, whatever the fuck it's called.
that. Biggest mistake of that.
I don't give a flying fuck about
Is
that
he not
movie.
in it? Do we know?
Dr. Ian Malkin's not.
We don't know if he is. Or
He
not.
better
gotta
be in
be
that
a
I'm
goddamn
pissed he's
movie.
not in the trailer, though. It
There's
should
got
have
to be a
ended with
fun
him.
cameo.
Wasn't in the third one. So.
Well, yeah,
That's
but that was a
true.
different world.
They mention him, but they
That's
don't.
true.
He's not in
A
it.
Lost World.
They gave
yeah,
him.
you're right,
They
right.
gave him the starring role in the second film, right?
Yeah.
And he botched the shit out of that.
I don't blame that on him.
Some say botched.
I wouldn't say he blocked.
Some say-
He wouldn't do the botch.
I don't
Anyway.
know.
Totally dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the
He
best
did a good
part.
job. He did
That
a
was
good
what I
job.
always wanted. I wanted the dinosaurs to come to land, like to deal with us. Not be on some stupid island we could just nuke and be done with it. I want them on.
Are they getting on like PT
That's
boats
what they
and,
did,
and
though.
landing?
In
And
the
Well, that's what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Remember? Yeah, that's what I'm
Lost World.
saying. I
Oh,
like that
yeah.
storyline.
I would prefer if there was like some sort of like hybrid dinosaur that they made. And we're not sure if he jumped over a 40-foot wall or not, but we're not sure how big it
But the
is.
thing
I
is
have a
this,
trailer
though,
to show
there's-
you.
I think I've heard
there's-
of these things.
but in this scene, potentially, could there just be scratch marks that lead all the way up the wall?
Yeah.
And then, but they're not sure if he actually climbed the wall or not.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
made
out
it
if
over.
Chris Pratt's involved, though.
Could Chris Pratt do some sort of really bad Southern accent the whole time?
That would be
Done.
preferred.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick.
I think it's
This is
you
a-
got something going here.
It's a winning formula around this table.
Right. That.
Hey, them
myself
using the
on.
Jurassic Park like piano theme song though, I still got chills even though it was a shitty trailer.
It's bad. Okay. It's gonna kill.
I can't remember.
Money.
I really
Money in the
wanted to
bank.
make a reference, and I can't do it, so I can't do it. But what was the M. Night Shyamalan movie that happened in the wilderness? Why can't
Oh, the
it-
village. Oh my
Village.
God.
I was gonna say, what if it all turned out to be a sequel to The Village?
Wow.
The Village was so good.
Step
That should
over
be-
that fucking-
M Night should be another topic in time.
He will.
Oh my
Put it on
God.
your list.
M Night.
I went on that one too.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
I love him.
Shyamalan.
What?
Yeah, I love those.
Everybody,
Oh
calm
my
down. It's a
God.
different topic. You're not gonna steal this.
All right.
Nick,
Hello.
what's your topic?
So my topic generally comes from the community, but
We're done with that. We hate the community. One
No.
year in, you're
No.
done.
No.
We
you guys
love
love
them,
community.
please, guys. I write down all your topics. Please tweet your topics at Nick_Scarpino.
NCC
and,
Nick Scarpino, no underscore.
Yeah. Why not? He loves it when you do that, I'm sure. But yeah, but we're gonna take a step back from that for a second, because it's not every day that one of your good friends and coworkers makes his own movie. And Mike Aransky, you've done that.
Great job.
Whoa! Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna
Like,
go for the joke,
No,
but I was like, no, this is
Yeah,
your
Let's
your
put it
time.
this way: Tim's movies aren't. It's not legal to put them on the shelves of Walmart
Yeah.
because
They
they're
involve naked people.
They're
the
pornographic.
ladies.
It's mostly just him with a sock.
Okay. Oh.
But no,
Okay.
so Mike, when you just a little backstory, and you tell me if I get some of these details wrong,
Sure.
as I'm sure I will.
Sure.
You started IGN a while back.
2
but
years, 2.5 years.
2.5 years ago.
A little more.
I watched the beginning
Yeah,
of the show.
before that, you were at a company called Black 20 that was doing sort of skit comedy, sort of
Yep.
like
We
college
were
humor
doing.
style.
Yep.
And you guys did some fun stuff.
Yep.
But in and amongst all this time, the last 6 years of your life, 7 years of your life, maybe before
Wait.
before IGN,
Before IGN. What are we talking about? Just.
the movies, making the movies.
Oh, I've been doing it for 15 years.
Wait, what?
So for 15 years,
Yeah.
You've been
You
making
have
movies
been
for 15 years.
15 years.
How old are
making
you?
Movies.
I'm older than hell. You don't need to know.
He's 45 years old. It's not a big deal.
It's
He's 74 years old.
37.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I would not have pegged you there.
really.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
if you would have asked me before this, I would have said you're right 32 with me. And then 15, I was like 35?
It's the beard and the hat. Hides
Please
everything.
always do that move that you
Yeah.
just did.
That's right.
The Aransky dance.
Everybody
That's
dance.
I
Colin, do the
They call
dance
that
if
the-
it can be a GIF. Everybody dance.
What?
There you go.
Smile too. I liked it.
So Ransky.
Yeah.
So this is something I found out. I found out about
That
you.
segue.
Kind of early on, but
Yeah.
I've always been impressed by this. Your passion, obviously, is as a filmmaker. You took your money and your weekends and your friends,
Yes.
and you guys went out and you just got it done. You made movies.
What was you took your money stuff. What was your role in this project?
On this project, well, this one, I was not a money situation. This was we're talking about the Phobia. We're talking
So yeah, so
like,
let me
segue that one into
Let me
something.
let me catch everyone up here
Yeah.
before we segue into that.
Okay.
So how many films have you made total?
Oh my God. If I produced and directed, I would say 6.
Damn.
Yeah.
And we're talking feature length, right? This is
Yeah.
not just like the stuff that me and Tim do, where it's like 2 minutes and we're talking about directors, and then
Yeah.
I sing at the
Skin
end.
getting.
Sing at the end.
I gotta point out that some of those of the 6, like the first couple movies we made with my friends, are pretty much unwatchable, but they are featured.
Okay, but no, but something that's how it goes when you first start off with anything,
Yeah.
right? Should have seen Tim's first video.
I
It
was
only
gonna
got
say, like,
1.7 million views.
Yeah.
The first,
Deal
fi-
with
the
it.
first
Money
51
in the bank.
episodes of this were pretty shit.
Well, if
But
you
they
listen,
were
got there,
feature
guys, you
length
got
though.
there. Yeah.
if you listen to the first 30 minutes of the audio on this one, you'd probably agree.
Is it really that bad?
No, it's totally fine. I don't know. I can't tell. You guys are screaming, and my ears really can't. They're not registering sound anymore.
Greg is screaming in your ear.
It's true. Don't worry about it. So that brings us to your latest, right? Which is a movie called Phobia.
Yes.
And this movie, you were sort of surprised. You made how long ago did you make this?
We made this 4.5, almost 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. We shot it back when I was in New York. Actually, I think it was in transition of Connecticut and New York at that point. We shot in Brooklyn for 6 months, all weekends. Terrible idea to do that way.
6 months.
Yeah.
All weekends.
Yes.
Were you married at the time? Did you have a girlfriend at the time?
So that's a funny story. I just got married about 4 weeks before that.
Good lord.
Yeah. So my wife left me. Yeah. So there was a lot of convincing on the table, but it's just like, hey, this was just before we're getting married. I'm basically setting her up for this thing. I'm just like, we've been planning for this thing for years. We got to make this happen. To give the whole dream speech.
Sure.
This
is,
she went along with that for the first, and then a couple months into this thing, and that she was.
She regretted her decisions in life.
I gave my wife. I told my wife the exact same thing when I was like, "No, we're gonna do this podcast and it's gonna blow up, and we're only gonna have to do it for like 2-3 weeks before we just become mega stars, like internet superstars."
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
And she's like, "Don't you need 100,000 subscribers on YouTube for that?"
and she's like, "I looked that up on Yahoo, Yahoo News."
Yahoo questions. Yahoo asks or whatever.
No, but so this is something interesting, right? And the reason why I invited you to be on the show today was, aside from the fact that I love talking movies with you, is the fact that you. A lot of people get out there and they have dreams to make something like a full-length feature film, right? Sure. That's sort of like the pinnacle of success for most creators in the digital video realm. Mm-hmm. You have been doing it 15 years, and you sort of had that sort of Kevin Smith, Robert Rodriguez mindset of let's just go do it.
Sure.
The only thing stopping us is ourselves, right?
Yeah, totally.
That's impressive. That's really impressive.
Thanks,
right? And
man.
now this latest film you came the other day, and you were like, starting to get some reviews.
Yeah.
And you just showed me a picture on the car right over of your film on
the shelf in Walmart. Yeah,
shelf in Walmart.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
On the Walmarts. Yeah, that was cool. That was really exciting. It was selling really well even on Amazon today too. Like we're like, as of I don't even check the last couple hours, but we were like, basically the last 8 copies were left. Basically they're saying, hey, 8 more are left. So make sure to knock these off.
Is it streamable?
I told him if you're going to come on the show,
is it digital?
It's digital and it's physical, so you can go either direction if you like.
Cool.
But yeah, it was cool, man. It was really exciting to see that it seems to have been getting some good traction. Mm-hmm. It was a long process. Much credit to my good friend Rory Abel, who he's the guy that actually put the money up front for this baby. For this one, I was the director of photography and I'm the executive producer. So I've been in the process of this entire film with him from the beginning. We did everything from casting into everything else you can think of. Shooting in New York is very tricky. And
especially on low budget, right?
Yeah,
we should say this was
we shot it for $15,000.
Yeah. So that's sort of puts you in the realm of paranormal activity, kind of.
Yeah, well, that was like $40,000 even, and that was before the reshoots.
Right.
But yeah, we were in that low level of trade. I've come to the mindset of me and my buddies over the last 15 years or so. We've been had this mindset that we're just going to make movies. We're going to figure out a format and do it. Because at the end of the day, format... So we shot this on 7D, Canon 7D, which is a camera that now is probably not the number one camera to be shooting features on. But at the time, we're like, we're ahead of things. But we're always trying to get ahead of technology a little by making it seem like...
Right, and this is the Canon 7D. This is the DSLR revolution.
Yeah.
That happened a few years ago, right?
Yeah. So
suddenly you can get depth of field, you can get sort of cinematic look to your stuff, and you can sync sound and actually shoot it like a film, and it would be you had to shoot in 12 minute. You had to shoot in 12-minute increments, and the thing would overheat.
Yeah. Yes.
Which happened a lot on board.
That's funny you said that because that happened many times.
I shot a short film with my good friend Anthony Cava and my good friend the cartoon pilot Ty Root. We shot it out in the Kern Valley, which is central California. Yeah. Hot as hell, and we had to bring an ice cooler. Because the thing started would overheat, so we prepped it and we put it in an ice cooler. Yeah, it was fun.
That was shot in 7D.
That was 70 actually.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
it looked great.
Thanks.
So we've been making movies for as a whole, like I said, we've been making them for 15 years, and like it's always been about a process of sacrifice to make these things, but it's really fulfilling. Like it's a lot of work to make movies. And making, that movie, like basically Rory has been living that movie a lot more than I've been living.
I was gonna say, what happened that it took so long to, you've been here for 2.5 years, but then you had done it 5 years ago. You said. Yeah. So we shot the film. It was a long process of post, and then there was a lot of ADR, which is just for technical terms, it's like audio pickups. There were some dialogue situations that we had with the production of the film. That we were not planning for. Some dialogue kind of got lost in the transition for one of our people that we had on staff.
kind of lost it. So
your sound guy fucked up.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, it was a little crazy.
Happens to us all the time, Kevin.
Yeah.
Not even here.
I know, we're giving
not
him
even
I
here.
wonder why Nick's ears are blown out, Kevin.
Yeah,
Kevin.
Get well soon.
I know.
Yeah,
Love you, buddy.
he's hurting right now. We love him.
Yeah.
He's one of my good friends. Kevin is our producer. He's also part of the climbing community with me. Not a big deal. When you
All right, so you needed to re-record some of the lines.
when
Yeah.
you're 15
So
feet up in the air, life just looks different.
15,
right?
10.
Okay. When you're between 10 and 15 feet up in the air, everything else just goes away.
So when you're 4 feet higher than me all the time.
I'm just saying, 4 feet, 10 feet doesn't matter. I'm part of a community, Greg. Sorry, continue. So you had to do some ADR. Some
yeah,
automated
so we had to
dialogue
do a lot of
replacement.
that, and then
And how much? I mean, then that's costly, right? It's not
is.
something that you can just do. You
Yeah.
have to get an ADR studio. You have to get a recording, or you have to do it on the cheap, which is even harder because then you have to get it in order to make it good.
right.
You know.
Yeah, so we had to do a lot of that, and so we had to do that part, and then there's some special effects shots in the film, so we had to do that kind of
Are
situation.
there aliens in the film?
Don't spoil.
I don't want to ruin it for them.
I
out there.
just
The
added
movie
it
out.
to my Amazon instant wish list. Please don't ruin this movie.
I should preface, none of us have seen this because it just came out. We are recording this. This is the second one next Tuesday. When does it come out? It came out today.
Came out just
Just
today.
today.
Yeah, just today.
I'm trying to figure out if I was
Yeah.
supposed to say it came out today, and today is
Yeah,
next
your
week.
timeline's correct. You're good. So we're good. We're here.
I'm so confused right now.
I mean, people are gonna get this whenever they get
Okay,
this.
you know, that's another time travel reference. We
Well,
had a
Greg,
photo of it on the shelf at
you're so-
Walmart,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it doesn't come out till next Tuesday.
I don't know. There was
Walmart's
nothing.
prepping a week ahead of time.
There was nothing else on the
Phobia.
shelf. I
We're
thought
gonna
maybe they
sell
were just like
hotcakes.
he had a friend that worked at Walmart and was like, I'll put 4 of them up there and then check them.
Oh, okay,
There you
okay,
go.
okay.
Greg, you're so good about it on Up at Noon, where you're just like, it's out today, and we'll film something 5 weeks in advance.
And the guest usually gets pissed off.
And
They're
they're
like, no,
like,
it's
what
not
the
out
fuck
today.
are
I'm
you
like,
talking
oh,
about?
yeah.
So 5 years.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of that process after that point was just trying to get the movie sold. So
By sold, you mean get sold to someone who can distribute it and
yes.
make money off of it.
Yeah, I mean, to try to at least get it out there to the to get distribution. That was really the most important part. Like, we tried to figure out how that was going to work. We tried to get into film festivals and stuff, and then we fell into a lucky situation where we contacted. So this is the strange story of it. So there's 3 producers executive producers on the film, me, myself, and me, myself. That doesn't make a sense.
me, myself, and
and I. Myself, Rory, and Elias. Elias is the third guy, and he actually is in LA right now, and he made contact with a guy who, a producer's rep. The reason he got a producer's rep, and a producer's rep is someone who helps get a film distributed. He contacted this. Okay, this is gonna back the story up just a little here.
This is why we love Mike Aransky.
Yeah.
Roll it back, everyone.
Yeah, I'm jumping around stories here. So basically, what happened is Elias reached out to some filmmakers who had made a film very similar to our film, and he got some interest and got some story behind these guys, and they told him about this producer's rep, and he contacted the producer's rep. The producer's rep was interested in the movie, and then got it out to our film company that distributed the film now, which is Image Entertainment.
Okay.
And they were really excited about the film. They jumped all over it. At the time, it was called Alone.
Because it's about
about a guy who lives alone, has agoraphobia, and never leaves the house. And that doesn't. It's a horror film. It's like a psychological horror film.
Yeah.
So
by the way, the cover art.
Yes.
On this.
Yeah. If you
is
see the cover art, look it up.
insane.
I'll insert it right here.
Okay.
Who needs Kevin?
There you go. Frightening.
So how does that sit with everyone?
Okay.
Holy cannoli!
It is
That's-
creepy. I
it
don't,
is
I don't
very
like the
creepy.
things around the eyes.
Yeah.
So at what point did someone smarter than all of us go, hey, let's call it Phobia instead and make some spiders come out of some eyes?
Yeah, that was the distribution company. They got all into that. So I think.
Headlines and thumbnails.
Yeah.
what it
It's
is.
100% about that. So that's what happened. So they asked us, they wanted to change the title. We're like, okay. And then like a few months later, out of nowhere, it got on a horror website. I think it was Dread Central. I believe it was. They revealed the poster, which we hadn't seen yet. And then they revealed it with the title, with the trailer. And we're like, oh, this is cool. And it was the poster. I don't want to deceive anybody. It's pretty crazy, as you can have seen, but is a little bit different than with the actual film that you're experiencing.
Yeah, that's
That's
not.
ridiculous. Who
that's
the
not-
fuck would ever do that?
Yeah.
Like using something to promote people to click on something.
That's almost-
This is
that's
exactly what is in the
Almost
content.
as insidious as using sexy pictures of Emma Watson to sell some of your podcasts. It's just not
Wasn't
right.
even, I mean, with all due respect, Emma Watson wasn't even that like over sexualized.
No, that was
That
not.
was just a that was just a
Yeah.
photo of Emma Watson.
And actually, it was very relevant to the
And
topic,
for the
too. It was
record,
very
Emma Watson
respectful.
was here. She was just filming. Kevin wasn't here. She was the one taking notes over there.
My God. Sorry, just my heart just beat. I was like, did I miss Emma Watson? Was she on the show when I wasn't here one week? Because I missed that. You should Tyler. I'll never forget that.
This
I'll
is
never
a-
forget
Oh, really?
myself.
This is a very interesting story to me because, I appreciate, first of all, learning a little bit about the process of getting a film made. Because I'm very ignorant about that kind of thing. But also the entrepreneurial spirit behind doing something like that. And I think it's a lesson to everyone out there that if you really want to do something, you really want to make, you weren't trying to make an art film or a student film. You were making a feature film, a film that, I don't want to say it can necessarily stand toe to toe with the great, Interstellar, but you're trying to make, maybe it can, but you're trying to make something
close.
of that ilk.
Sure.
And that required lots of sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very inspirational.
Oh, thanks.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's really cool. And, you saw it through. You guys saw it through. And I think that's really cool. Now, my one question is,
Sure.
who wrote the movie?
It was written by Roy and his friend, and well, actually, that's another weird thing too. It's Rory and Matthew Barnes, which actually he didn't really know Matthew, but somehow he had a connection with him too.
The internet.
Yeah, basically. So they worked on working through the drafts of the film. There's a really funny story about the script. So we were about to go into production, and only a few weeks before into production on the original draft of the script. And we started getting people together, a crew together for this thing. I got the final draft, and obviously, like I said, I'm the executive producer on the film, and I read the draft, and there was some major, just really campy stuff that
Nude scenes? It's a horror movie.
We got nude scenes in this movie, by the way.
Of course you
It's
do. Good.
It's
I apologize,
Yeah.
everyone, as an
How big's
interviewer.
the guy's dick?
Big.
If I've learned anything
Michael
from
Jefferson.
my fellow friend and
Portilla.
one of the best interviewers, internet superstar Greg Miller, lead with the nude stuff.
Yep.
Always.
Yeah.
Like his
Lock
his
him in.
infamous.
Well, now the thumbnail can just be a guy's naked junk.
That's
Just a dick. That's it.
is it?
Yeah,
No, let me ask this
Phobia.
question: is it where is it oriented in the thumbnail? Is it like
Yeah,
hanging
it's-
down, or
it's
is it
north
like?
and
Well,
south.
usually I like to put the
It's
images
east and
on the
west.
right side, so it'll just be a dick on the right, and then it'll just say Game Over Greggy Show on the left.
See, I like the idea
Yeah.
of it being so zoomed in that it's just like flesh and you don't know what it is.
And now that you've watched this far into the episode, you looked at the guy's dick.
You can't turn back now. You got too far.
Wait, so go back to the
That's
story.
the
So,
Bandcamp thumbnail.
so there was some. You were saying there was some camp in the.
Yeah. So the original screenplay came in. We were about to go to production only a few weeks into it. I'm kind of the dick here because of this situation, but basically, I'm like, dude, we can't make this movie. Like, that's really stupid and kind of cheesy. And that's not saying not gonna this. It's just it's one of those kind of things. Like, there's a lot of horror tropes in it that was like with the Ouija board and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's really cheesy. Like, the movie's trying to treat itself serious. So we had to retool the script. We had to turn away all the crew and start an entire new crew to basically.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
So
probably-
just because of that screenplay, but I'm like, the problem is this: like, when you make a film, you live the film for the next couple of years of your life. So any chances or choices you make, you got to stick to those choices, because once you start going into this thing, going back becomes a nightmare. So you're just like, you have to go for it, and
So
you
you-
have to make calls that you don't want to make, but you have to.
So you're saying you read the script
Yeah.
and you were like, it's going to cost me. You did the cost benefit analysis in your brain where you're like,
Yeah.
if we go forward, this and we have to change this later down the road, it's going to cost us more than if we just retool this whole thing right now.
Yeah.
And put the crew on standby,
Sure.
risking that maybe we won't get the crew back that we
Correct.
want, because oftentimes
Which
these
is
people
good.
they're not salaried employees. They're going to go on to the next thing. They're
Sure.
going to go on to the next paying gig. 'Cause you're not going to pay them to wait around for 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a tricky situation. We chose to go that direction with the script. It turned out to be a better choice, I think, in the long term for the film. So it was cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about the film right now. Getting its launched today. The reviews have been very positive coming through on it so far. So that's awesome, because
That's really cool, yeah.
You have no idea what's going. Like, you're putting a movie out there and you're just like, we could get beat to death here, and it's happened. Like, I've done many films in the past. We've actually got fascinating stories. Back in the days, we did a film, one of our first feature films, in 16 millimeter, which was a nightmare to shoot on that at the time. That's like film process. They don't even do.
Still a nightmare to shoot on 16
Yeah.
millimeter, by the way.
Yeah, and we got reviewed by the New York Times.
Oh.
And Elvis Mitchell tore us a new asshole. Basically said we were the backwash of Clerks and Bottle Rocket. And we're just like, well, That sucks.
But at least he mentioned you in the same breath as Clerks and Bottle
Yeah,
Rocket.
I mean, it was really. I mean,
love
his
Bottle Rocket.
Yeah, I love Bottle Rocket by the way too. So that's
interesting.
So the intro. I mean, because that's the thing. Like, honestly, like I had no problem with the Clerks and Bottle Rocket because I respected Wes Anderson and Kevin Smith to death, and so I was willing to take that hit at that point.
Yeah.
Because we were like, so
Did you think it was not a great movie, or did it catch you off guard when you read the review?
well, at the time we were really the story of that. What you're talking about, that original from the New York
Yeah,
Times.
the one
thing?
that got ripped
So
apart
the New
by
York Times thing happened where
Elvis.
Elvis Mitchell had writ. Basically what happened was the backstory of that is that we had a premiere for that original film, Sean 16. We screened it, and happened to be a guy there from a now not a magazine anymore, but just a website called Film Threat. Film Threat is a pretty big deal to us because that's actually how Kevin Smith and Clerks, one of its big leaping moments happened when they got a really positive review from Film Threat. And they gave us like a 4-star review on Film Threat. And oh my God, it's happening.
Rich.
Yeah, like that's it. Our career's gonna happen. And we were just like, this was like in our early 20s. Yeah, it was our early 20s we were doing this. And this is when that happened. And we're like, that's going to be the biggest moment. And the guy what happened was that guy from Film Threat loved our movie so much that he helped get the movie into screenings. In fact, got into screenings in New York City. And that's where Elvis Mitchell saw the movie. So we're on a high horse. And when the Elvis Mitchell thing happened, it took a little,
Knocked you down,
that.
huh?
Yeah, it took us down.
Yeah, but that's not to say that. But the Clerks didn't get all positive reviews across the board. It got panned here and there. If I
Yeah,
remember
totally.
correctly.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's
Never
one of
by
those...
the New York Times, but
Yeah, I mean, but it's awesome. I can say I got reviewed in the New York Times no matter what. I can take that hit with me. So
that's pretty
Yeah.
big.
So like reviews are always been like it's nice to see positive reviews because you're in a good position. You feel a little better about the film. And right now with this movie, it's been really positive, and so we're really excited about seeing how it's going to do. We got some really great talent in the film, and
Did you send a copy to Elvis Mitchell?
oh my God,
That'd be hilarious.
I should send one out to him.
Here's
I don't know if he's
my-
reviewing in New York Times anymore.
Here's my last question because
Yeah.
I feel like looking at the time, we're getting a little late. I could talk about this
Oh,
all
yeah,
night
yeah,
with
yeah,
you.
sure.
If the movie does well enough to warrant a sequel,
Yes.
can all of us
my
be in
God.
It's
it?
called Phobias.
Oh,
Can we be it?
Phobias.
Phobia. Dude, that's
With an
like
S.
no joke. That's like literally what we're talking about with titles. Yes. You heard it here. If that happens,
That's
gotta
a
be
verbal contract. That's
Yeah, yeah.
binding. You can't do that.
You're in it.
He's like, I'm not guaranteed to be the producer on it, but it's okay.
I'll just throw it to that
Well,
point. so.
awesome. Well, Aransky,
One day you're gonna
congratulations.
see a
That is
trailer, and we're all in it, and you can be like, "What the fuck?"
Phobias.
God, they got in that movie.
Phobias, the romantic
We
comedy.
lost over Rich.
Bromantic comedy.
When Nick Scarpino discovered he had a phobia of axes, things were left on the cutting room floor.
I need a burrito.
Classic Nick.
Classic Scarpino.
So everybody go
That's Scarpino.
buy Phobia. It's available at Walmart.
check it out.
Walmart,
Amazon.
Amazon, Best Buys,
Turn on
Targets. You can actually get basically anywhere. If you look it up, just
iTunes?
Is it on
iTunes?
the
It's on,
PSN?
yes, it's on iTunes.
Oh, man.
It's on Amazon's.
PSN?
I don't know. That's a good question. I should really look into that.
The
I have
Sony
not checked it.
Entertainment Network.
So that's it. I'm gonna look into that tonight, and
Wii
someone verify that for me because I don't know. But yeah, that's exciting. So it's out there.
Well, congrats.
Take a look.
Yes.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
We're very
Thank
proud
you,
of you.
man.
We love
That's
you.
Thanks,
That's a
guys.
big deal.
Appreciate it, guys.
BFD, as they say.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Tim,
Yes.
what's your topic?
Okay. My topic is Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So let me take a step back here. Taylor Swift is a phenomenon. That is a fact.
Yes.
But she never clicked with me until recently. Until recently.
Really?
Now I'm just
Oh, really?
like all about her. But it's like for a while.
I mean, she's no Demi Lovato.
I don't know to do that
Demi-
information.
What?
I don't know how to do this information.
Yeah, man, you broke me for a second. You got me, Scarpino. No, with Taylor, it's like, she a couple years ago, she was getting really big, and everyone like was talking about her. And I remember just being like, I don't like this. I'm not down with this.
Settling in for a good topic.
You're not cool. Then she did the music video where there was the two houses.
That's a Twix commercial.
No,
I'm blanking on the name of that.
Yeah,
What's the name of the song?
We are never getting back together?
Yeah, no, the other one.
No, I guess I need more information than
There's
two houses.
There's the two houses, and she's looking through the windows.
I don't know this video.
You belong with me.
Yeah, that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, you belong.
Oh, you made it sound like it was more recent than that.
No.
Okay, yeah, where she's looking at her guy friend across the way.
Yes.
She plays two characters in it, the
Yes.
douchey girl and the good girl.
Yes. So
I don't understand.
I
What's
don't-
so
I don't
funny.
even
I
either.
missed it. The Twix thing? We're hung up on the Twix commercial.
God damn, that's funny.
We're not even drinking.
It was just so quick.
Yeah.
It was just so
It's two factories.
quick.
It's the two houses. It's all
It's been such a long year, guys. I apologize.
That was good. I'm sorry. Let's go with that.
So that song, "You Belong with Me,"
Yeah.
that was like the tipping point where I'm like, I like you. I like this song.
I'm surprised it took you so long to get behind her.
Yeah, this video, I was like, whoa. I really enjoy this video. It's a good video. It's well thought out. There's a lot of good stuff happening. And then after that, I was like, okay, don't care about you anymore.
Wow.
And it just started, she kept doing stuff, and I was like, whatever. Then one day I walked into a Walgreens, and there was this big stand-up cardboard thing because they had some deal where their album was exclusively
Sure.
at Walgreens. And I was like,
Sounds like a good deal.
I was like, damn,
Walgreens?
she's way prettier than I ever gave her credit for. And I was like, I should probably listen to her music because that's how my head works. So then I went back and I started listening. I'm like,
Oh damn! I was gonna say, please tell me you bought the Walgreens album. You're just like,
Walgreens still.
no, I did.
oh nice, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, that
yeah,
wasn't.
I
It
did.
wasn't Target.
It was Walgreens.
Walgreens.
Walgreens. Yeah.
He's wrong, but it's no big deal. Maybe was it the Christmas album?
Maybe it was some weird shit. I don't even remember. It was definitely not like a legit album. It was
Because
like
Target
an EP
does
or
get
something.
exclusive songs on every one of the Taylor
Yeah,
Swift albums.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Which is
then,
why I buy
then
every
she
album
did the
twice.
whole "We're never getting back together"
Yep.
stuff, and
That's when I started noticing T Swift.
yeah,
Right around that song.
T Sweezy, yeah,
T Swizzle.
that's what we call him.
Because she did that. What was one right after that?
Well, it was, man, I can't believe I'm blanking
That's
so
hard.
much
That's
right
the
now.
one. That's
the goat
one.
one.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cause I'm in a cold hard count.
I knew trouble. I knew it was trouble when I walked
That's
in.
the one that
Trouble,
coming back from
trouble,
VidCon.
trouble.
Uh-huh.
We listened to that
fun.
400 times
That's
when we got to Town and Country.
Yeah.
When we were just cruising around Anaheim. I was like, please put that T Swift song on DJ High Tech. And
Yeah.
Greg was like right there.
Oh, I got the
Bam.
albums. I got the singles. I got the pre-orders.
Oh, so good.
But that song was like, I was like, okay, she's going a little more pop, and I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. But what really won it over for me was her recent shit. Shake It Off.
Great music video, by the way. The song didn't sell me.
What?
I was like, I heard the song before and I was like, I don't really care about this. Then I saw
Burn
the
your
video
brain.
and I was like, this woman has a
Pizzazz.
hilarious sense of humor about
gets
herself.
it. Yeah.
She's very I don't know, what's the word?
Self-aware.
Deprecating, thank you. And part of that was you kind of explaining this to me because I was like, oh, okay, she just can't dance and she can't do these things. And you were like, no, she really can't do these things. People make fun of her for it. This is her acknowledging some of
Yeah.
these like problems that she has as an entertainer. And I'm like, that's kind of ballsy, like to get out there and actually tell people like, I get it, I can't dance, I know this is ridiculous, and just have fun with it. And from that point on, I'm like, I get the spirit of this song. Now I kind of like it a little
Yeah.
bit.
She's a social media darling. And that's the other thing that I'm just obsessed with about her. Is like, she, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
Man,
Good.
she just nails it.
She's got
gets
the
it.
cat.
She gets
Is
it.
she doing
has
it
a
though,
cat.
or is it like people?
Oh, it's her. It's all her, and it's awesome. And that's why it's so good. Is because it's actually her. And then you see her at all the.
They're just really good at making you believe it's her.
Again, I keep saying that the moment I fell in love with her, because there was a lot of little moments, and it wasn't until all of them added up, and I feel like they all added up to the Shake It Off video. But there was also a moment a couple years ago when she teamed up with T-Pain, and they made a little rap song.
Yep.
And that was the best. What was it called? Thug Story.
Yep.
It was good. It was damn good.
Damn.
So that was awesome. But her at award shows is something special. Not when she's performing, although that's great too. But the
I was gonna say, what about the one where she, she's in the hoodie sweatshirt, then they rip the hoodie sweatshirt off. She's in the dress. The rain comes down. It's spelling out words. Don't tell me she's not fucking awesome. at
No,
awards
no,
shows.
no. She's fucking awesome. But where she really shines is when other people are performing and the camera randomly cuts to her.
Yeah,
She's the star of the show.
she's having fun.
She's having
She's just singing along
so
with
much
it and just rocking
singing,
it.
dancing. She's with her crew of best friends, including Selena Gomez, and it's just fucking awesome.
Is she really
Selena
friends with
Gomez?
Selena
Oh,
Gomez?
Yeah.
they're like BFFs, and like her and Lord are now like BFFs. It's just great. Follow her on Twitter.
Man,
Nick.
I
Come
want to
on.
be these people.
Yeah,
That's cool.
she's having a good time. And I
I've
just
said
like her.
BFFs with us.
I'll tell you right now, as a
Like
best
Lauren
as a
and
best
Selena
friend
Gomez?
of the
None of us
show,
will ever be as cool as Lord.
as
so
well.
cool.
We'll also never be royals.
Yeah.
Throwing out that old joke. See if I can get a little bit more mileage out of it, which I cannot apparently.
The Twix house thing was
Literally,
pretty- or the
we'll
Twix house
never
thing.
interrupt
It was
each
solid,
other
yeah.
on the show. Before you said, and then all this. To let you in, best friends watching this, we're starting a campaign. It's soft launching right now to get Taylor Swift on the GameOverGreggy show. Now, Colin, as soon as I said this, it was like, there's no fucking way that'll ever happen. I want to spell it out very clearly what we're talking about. She's coming in August to Levi Stadium. Tim and I will be there. We will be watching the show. We're talking about we'll go there and do the show there backstage. It can just be one topic and it's over. Not coming all the way out to San Francisco. We know she's too busy for that.
Yeah,
she's
she
too
ain't coming
important.
in here.
I understand. She's got a lot of things to do. What are you gonna say?
Nothing.
We have some ideas on how we're going to do that. We'll need your help when it comes. You can start tweeting now if you want. Come on the GameOverGreggy show. Link here to this episode. It's fine. Then we'll have the real thing later on.
Do it respectfully, please.
Please do it respectfully.
Yes.
I'll tell you when I fell in love with Taylor Swift.
Well, real quick, I do want to say, Greg Miller, biggest Taylor Swift fan I know.
The craziest thing about the Taylor Swift love is that how many people don't think it's real.
I thought it was a joke.
That's usually the main thing that people tell me when I'm with Taylor Swift, or when they start talking about Taylor Swift, or I'll start talking about Taylor Swift when we're hanging out for the first time or something. They'll be like, "So you really like Taylor Swift? I thought that was just a put on you do on the internet." And I'm like, "No, I legitimately love Taylor Swift."
So I am one of those like fair weather Taylor Swift fans. I like the
you're a monster.
song, but I don't really follow. I don't know. I can't go that deep into the catalog.
You're about to fall in love with her, Nick. As soon as you follow her, it's over.
Probably. I mean, that's how it happened between me and Greg. Like how badly that turned out. But Greg legitimately like goes deep into that catalog. You like country. Like you are like you like what was it? Is it you that does the 9/11 song?
Yeah. Daryl Worley. Yeah. Have you forgotten? That's my karaoke jam. That doesn't play well in New York. Surprise.
No, it does not. But you legitimately like. See, that's the problem is you have.
You tried to do that song in New York?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Where was I?
It was on a trip to see GTA 5.
Oh wow.
Jesus Christ! I could have told you
But
that.
see, it's stuff like that makes people think that you don't like country, but then you actually do.
The best part about country is that there's a wide array of country songs, right? And so like any genre of music you want to pick, there's a terrible song or two. There's a lot of bad country, there's a lot of great country. And so that's the whole point. And so for me, falling in love with Taylor Swift, Tim McGraw, her debut single off her debut studio album, bought it at Walmart or wherever we were, and then like listened to it front to back, front to back, front to back, front to back. And like that was like, and I don't know, have you seen this one? Do you have any of these songs? Like,
no,
she's got this big frizzy hair on the cover and stuff. And it's what's bizarre for me is when people like yourself. Now, this is bizarre in a different way, so stick with me. When you say she's hot. Or she's super attractive, and I think she's a beautiful woman. But the problem was that like when she debuted, right, I was there from literally day one of her like big album career, right. So for me, I look at her totally like a little sister, and the fact that like she like her first album, she's talking about being 16 in high school and 17 and this and boys, and it's like. It's cool. It's like you're reading a journal or hearing something. You know what I mean? It's like it's like a documentary for music instead of a film or whatever. Documentary. I don't know why I said documentary. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
all
The bourbon is doing its job.
We're on hour 2. We're fine.
And so that was, so from that moment, I remember like, this girl's awesome and she's really good and she's something special. There's something about her, right? And I make a lot of bad gambles. Case in point, I remember driving around listening to this album with my then like wife or like fiance, right? Bad decision. But I bet on the right horse with Taylor Swift, right? That she was awesome. And so to be there as every album matures and to see how she is growing up, in music and what she's changing. Now I keep telling you, what's gonna kill it for me eventually is that she's going to get married, and I'll be fine with that album. But then when she has a baby in that album, that'll be the album that kills it for me.
Damn.
Right? Don't want to hear her sing about being a mom.
Do you think it's gonna get to that place? Because we
Judgmental
talked a little bit about this, but like
this.
I feel like she's been around well past the point where she should have self-destructed.
Yeah, she should have.
Yeah, that's the
fizzled out by
thing.
now.
She does things right.
I didn't say anything about self-destruction. I said
that's
about
what
her
I'm
having a
saying.
kid.
Do we think she's going to last? Do we think
Yeah,
she's
same,
young?
right,
Yeah,
Aransky?
no. Taylor Swift is going to be around. Like Taylor Swift for me is a Madonna. And not in the crazy sense of Madonna. Now I'm
self-destruction.
gonna do some sex book, but no, you know what I'm saying. Madonna came on the scene.
Not that we'd be opposed to a Taylor Swift sex book.
I would be.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
She survived the fappening 1 and 2 and the snapping. I'm like, okay, if she's my 1989, that's the year I was born.
Time out.
She's nailing this.
Time out. She wasn't in the fappening, was she?
No, that's what I'm saying. She
Great.
survived.
Just
it.
making sure I understood what the point was. So for people who aren't as
it's like,
fucking debriefed on the
for
fappening.
somebody that is my age,
both of them.
in that like
Yeah,
in social media
and
and
the
all that.
snapping, which I don't even know much about.
It was the Snapchat.
All right, so here's the thing about Taylor Swift. I mean, I don't have too much to add to this conversation, but I'm going to say this. There's a few things that stood out to me about her. First, great name. Taylor Swift's a great name. I don't know if that's her given
Not
name.
her nickname.
Yeah.
Cannot be her given.
But it's a fantastic name. Snappy, quick, right? And it's I think it describes who she is very well. Second of all, she comes off to me as someone who's very humble and very nice. Like, legitimately
Very true.
humble,
Yeah.
legitimately nice.
Great image.
Third, any song I've heard of hers lacks any sort of oomph or hook that I care about. So, like, the whole thing with her is that, like, whether she's progressed in or out of poppiness, it's always come off as pop. And I actually like some pop music. It's totally fine. Like, I'll listen to a Katy Perry record. Like, I like...
Oh, yeah, I'm
I
down.
don't-
like,
I don't-
so it's like, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with it more of the...
Prism.
You know, the more country
Real name's
tone of
Taylor
something.
Swift.
It is it?
Just double
Okay.
check.
No.
It's a great,
Yeah.
Tay McNasty Swift.
Please shut up.
it's a great name.
Oh my god.
Can that be my name?
That was a
Taylor
Nick
McNasty.
thing.
So, you know, I feel positively about her as a role model for young people, and I feel positively about her as, you know, an artist and someone who seems to have respect and get respect. I, like everyone else, cringed when she was at that award ceremony
Kanye.
and Kanye
Oh, yeah.
fucked
Fucking
everything up.
asshole.
Oh, was that her?
Yeah.
When he's like, hold on, I'm
Yeah,
I'm
that was so weird.
What did it say?
I'm gonna let you
I'm gonna let
finish.
you
I'm gonna
finish.
finish.
But Beyonce
Beyonce
had the best video of all time. Of all time.
But and she, you know, she seems like a really humble and nice person. But I think that, like, her music leaves much to be desired, and that has nothing to do even with her being a pop artist or mainstream artist at all, because, like I said, I like some of that stuff. It's just like I never heard anything of hers where I'm like, I think this is good. But the one thing I give her credit for is that she's a legit songwriter. So
She is.
it's not like she's going around to producers. I'm sure some producers have written some of her songs and stuff, but and she's gotten songs sold to her. You know, you're speaking of Madonna. My favorite Madonna song is La Bonita Ice. What is it?
Yeah, I know that song.
Cheryl, what is that Madonna song that I like? The Madonna song, La Bonita. La Isla Bonita, yeah.
Thanks, Shea Bear.
Thank you. Like, so I was reading about that song because I get like, I fall down the Wikipedia hole like everyone does. We had Sean Finnegan on. We were talking about that, and that song was written and sold and shopped to Michael Jackson first, and then it was given to Madonna or whatever. So, like, even these great artists are circulating their songs and getting everything written, but it seems like she has, like, her hand more on the things that she's actually singing, and it's not like a producer's writing her whole album and then giving it to her or whatever like that. So I appreciate that as well.
Yeah, the cool thing is, like, I feel like she's us if we got to that point. You know what I mean? Like her events, like the secret sessions, right? Of like her making cookies for her fans, bringing them to her mom's house, like doing all these stupid things. Like, you'll see videos of her popping all the time, visiting hospitals, seeing fans, doing all these different things. It's like she's not just some dick. She's not somebody who's just like focused on being a star and taking sexy photos and then explode, you know, doing drugs and
There's
ruining
nothing wrong with
everything.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What,
think
taking sexy photos?
Yes.
No,
That's true. I'm not trying to condemn that, but
I'm
you know what I'm
just-
saying.
I'm supporting
You brought up the snapping and the
And I'm supporting
snapping
it.
1 and 2.
She's wholesome.
yeah.
She is wholesome.
She's great. I mean, her image.
She's got a
is-
little. Her newest album or her newest video.
She's trying to act like a little
Tim
risque.
just showed
No,
me
the newest
that.
album is definitely like it. This is the first
got a
album
little
where I
risque.
listened to. I'm like, and now I got to think about it, little sister. Have you had sex? And I don't like thinking
Getting
about that.
older, folks.
I don't
You know,
like these
it's
questions.
so funny because
I like thinking
I was
about
in
it.
college when like Britney Spears did her first.
You were in college?
Yeah, I was in college.
I was
when
in
Britney
ninth grade when
Spears
that came
did
out.
"Oops, I Did It Again." What was
No,
her?
no. Oh,
Hit me,
baby,
baby.
one more
Hit me
time.
one more time.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's what it was.
yeah.
And I
Oops,
remember
I did it
looking-
again. I was like,
I remember looking at that
fifth
going,
grade.
Wow, this is really weird. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
sorry.
fine. No.
I think I was out of college. Anyway,
What was the one where she was in the skirt with in the school?
baby, one more time.
Yeah, that was the first video.
I remember seeing that in college and thinking the opposite
Yeah.
of what Greg's thinking with Taylor Swift, which was if I had a chance to date Britney Spears, I would kill any of my friends to do so.
But again, I think
Right.
that's different because like that's you were on age wise. There was a par there. You know what I mean?
she's
I was
like
already
18, I was like
graduated
24.
college by the time Taylor Swift was a big part of my life. And so for her to be singing about high school, I don't think about her in that way. Whereas now she's talking about the guy having things that are his hands are in my hair, the skirt.
You don't
Hella?
you just
The guy with
believe
hella
that.
good hair?
Yeah.
really
No, I'm wrong. I like, and again, she's not really my sister, so I don't mind. I don't care. These are still amazing songs, and I like this. But it's just like, I never think about that with you.
yeah, I like. I'm a really big fan. I like her image. Her image and quality has been great. I have some issues. I'm a love hate with her. Am I back on that mic?
Into
Am I
the
back?
mic, thank you.
Oh, God,
It's okay. It takes some getting used to.
yeah, you guys are pros. It's just not
Pros.
Yeah.
Pros and cons. I just want
Yeah.
everyone to hear your sweet, sweet voice.
So my love hate is two very simple folds. I've started to fall in love with Taylor Swift because she's a beautiful girl, first of all. And then her music's started getting a little more catchy. I can't remember the name of the actual songs. That's actually with Taylor Swift. Sorry.
No, because that's just how we live
Yeah.
now. I listen to Taylor Swift music every day.
Yeah.
Most songs, like deep cuts on the album that I like, I can't tell you their names necessarily. I can sing
Every
word for
damn
word
word.
for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'll tell you
yeah.
this though, like if I mean, unless it's Demi Lovato, in which case you remember every lyric, every song,
you so much.
the title of every song, every album.
Lovato?
Really? That's where we're going with this?
Call her D Love.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So
I'm not actually
For-
Demi Lovato. I just want you to be pissed at me all the time.
He's gonna
It
just drag
works.
this out. I actually started really liking Taylor Swift thanks to.
Here's the thing. You don't realize after an hour and a half how tired you get.
Yeah,
And the alcohol starts to set in. And then the...
it doesn't take much for me. So
No, it doesn't take much for you. And,
No.
and then the time starts to set in. So
Yeah.
you start to slink down a little bit.
yeah,
And then you just kind of want to talk away from the mic.
yeah.
And no one can hear you. And then Nick gets comments that he's a shitty soundboard op.
Get that together.
And I don't want those comments.
I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm doing my best not
Yeah,
to.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
anyway, Taylor Swift, she's awesome. I started following. I was really got into her thanks to a little game called Band Hero.
Damn right.
Yeah.
That's why I have a Taylor Swift autographed Band Hero guitar plate. Thanks.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's kind of awesome. My wife got Band Hero. I was like, oh, she's so good to do karaoke with. I like Taylor Swift. You're good for me now. But I want to point out one thing. Kind of burned me a little here, Taylor. The Spotify deal. Just want to say that. That's all I want to put out there.
What's
See,
what
this
the
is
hell?
this is
What the
awesome.
hell?
So she, for those that don't know, Taylor Swift took all her music off of.
Now, did
Spotify.
she do this or did her management group do this?
It's
She says her. I mean, that
yeah,
was,
like she's taking credit for
Yeah.
it. So I'm sure it was the management people that actually did it. But
She
It's
wasn't
awesome.
there at a Mac taking it
yeah,
all off.
yeah.
But by doing this,
The hysterical
she
shit,
has
she
gained
logged into
something
Spotify.
crazy, like 60% more YouTube views from this.
Okay.
She's getting an average of 46 million views a day
Okay.
now on YouTube.
But,
And
but my
plus,
kid-
her album went crazy. Like it sold like nutso. It was like 'cause
Yeah.
that was the whole thing. No album had platinum in how
In
long
like
or whatever.
a year or something.
Yeah. Now it's
That's
this one
insane.
immediately.
And it's like it's because of things like that.
Yeah, but my
You know?
kid loves Spotify. She loved that version of Taylor Swift.
But now
she
here-
used to dance
here-
to shake it off. She can. She's crushed my child.
But
Go on
here,
YouTube.
first off,
I'm not-
fucking buy it for $11.
Yeah.
Buy the album.
No.
$9.99 on iTunes.
I
You
pay
pay for
subscription.
Spotify.
Yeah.
So no, this is the problem. Is like this is I respect her so much for doing this. And as somebody who doesn't use Spotify, except I mean I use the free version every now and again. Don't get me wrong, right? And not being a big music fan, it doesn't really affect me because I just buy the same albums and listen to them every day. The thing about it though, but stick with me, is the fact that she's a big enough name to make waves and call attention to this.
Of course.
Some shitty little band who's only getting the whatever it is. It's some ridiculous thing. I forget what
They
the
get
plays
nothing. They
Yeah.
get like absolutely
I get it.
nothing
Yeah.
from it.
No,
yeah, so here's a good.
It's a bigger conversation.
Yeah, and here's. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to touch your hand.
liked
but
it.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But here's some good insight because I was lucky. Ramon
Ramon.
majored in music industry, and he has a lot of he's worked for labels and stuff. And he has great insight into a lot of things. And what he always says is Spotify is a great and I guess to a lesser extent Pandora, even though you can't really select your stuff, is a great outlet for 99% of the acts out there because they're not making money off of album sales anyway, and they don't really give a shit if they sell their albums. They want you to
Exposure.
exactly
Yeah.
because they're making maybe 50 cents to 75 cents to maybe $1 an album.
Sure.
And then they have to pay their manager and all that kind of stuff. Like they're making nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to sell millions of records to make any sort of money.
Yeah.
But they want you to come to their shows.
Right.
And they
Sure.
want where they make $5, $10, $15 a person, and they want you to buy their merch, and they want you to go to YouTube and watch their videos. And so he says like it works for everyone, but when you hit critical mass like Taylor Swift has, it doesn't matter that she's not on Spotify because she's not going to miss the money, and everyone's going to go to her shows, and Levi Stadium's going to sell out in 10 minutes anyway, so it doesn't matter. So pulling your shit off of, like you're saying, put yourself off Spotify gets yourself in the news.
Yeah.
The danger is, and I know a few people that work at Spotify, haven't talked, not close enough to talk to them seriously about
Like,
about the
Taylor Swift.
What do you guys
one of
think
them
of
right
Taylor?
now.
no, well, but more about the danger is that she's bringing attention to something that scares me too, which is that a lot of the labels are making a lot of money off of Spotify, but the money's not trickling down to the artists.
Right.
And it was a big deal, like when Metallica came on. Like one of the only holdouts that I give a shit about is Tool. They're not on there, but I don't want more people pulling their shit off of Spotify because
Yeah.
that will fucking infuriate me.
Well, this
because that service is too good to be true, and I think the solution, and this can be another topic one day. I pay $8.99 or $9.99 a month for Spotify, and I listen to it all the fucking time, literally
Me
like
too.
5-10 hours
Me
a
too.
day.
Yep.
And I would pay $50 a month for that.
Good lord.
You know, like
See, I feel like that's the
it's
solution is more people need to talk about that.
Good.
If you see, I don't feel the scary thing isn't people leave, and this is again somebody who doesn't use the service this way. Isn't people leaving? It's the fact that there are people like you who would pay more for this. There needs to be a solution to get people the money they are rightfully deserve. I feel.
Yeah, I agree. Just because $10 to me, in my opinion, same with Netflix. Although Netflix is kind of shaky right now, but like it's $10 a month is a fucking steal.
For all that music.
Yeah, like they have everything. The only band of cosmic consequence that isn't on there, like cosmic consequence, are the Beatles, and they're never gonna be on there.
Yeah.
But other than that, like when Pink
Zeppelin's
Floyd
on there.
Yeah, Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, the Metallica, like all
Garth
these.
Brooks.
Oh, Garth Brooks, of course.
He's there.
Well, he's a holdout
And,
on iTunes. I
Dude, they
think, or
had the
something
most
weird.
obscure shit. There was this band I used to listen to in Boston that released an EP They were called Dogfight. They were like a new metal band. I
Everybody
went
go
and
listen to
saw them in
Dogfight.
like 2003, 2004. That fucking record is on there. I was like,
That's
what
awesome.
the hell is this doing on here?
I mean,
Because I bought that album like off some dude on the street. You know what I mean? And like, that's how good it is.
There's not a huge barrier to get your stuff on Spotify, right?
No, not at all.
I don't know if
Like-
you've tried, but like I think it's pretty easy because Altano has his stuff on Spotify.
Yeah, and,
So is David.
Ramon,
Yeah,
and my buddy Ramon's on there too,
Yeah.
and he's like, but to me, he was like, when he was on Podcast Beyond, like his music was on there. He's like, that gave us a huge boost, like in all of our revenue or whatever. So you need to find those little things or whatever. But I understand, like, so to me, like, I think the solution to satiate the artist is to pay more. And I would, I'm a lover of music, I'm a player of music, I'm a lover of music. I need music every day in my life. I would gladly pay more for that service to satiate people like Taylor Swift that feel like they're not making enough money. I get why they're not. They feel that way.
See, I don't know that I'd pay $50, but I agree with you. But I also think that everyone just needs to use Spotify more because that's also the same thing that like Netflix is going through, where their stock prices start to drop a little bit when they raise the price of it, and everyone just leaves because like this is stupid. So that's why they've sort of been price locked in at whatever. I think it's like $7.99.
Yeah, $7.99, which is a steal in itself.
That's a steal. The difference is though, and this is why I feel bad for people on Netflix, is because you don't make any money on Netflix really.
You make it all up front, right?
What's that?
They pay you up front. Don't they, for that?
Generally, if you're a filmmaker, you just don't make money. Period.
Yeah, it's a hard time.
Most independent filmmakers make films for the first time to get exposure, and hope to God that someone will pay them to do it again, and then hope to God that they get to do it a third time, and then eventually get a studio deal and go
Then they
direct to
die
like
before it happens.
well,
Oh,
it's not easy. So I always as bad as I feel for people like Taylor Swift, where the revenue model is not selling albums. It's exactly what you said. It's getting butts in the seats. It's selling the merchandise. It's selling the live concerts. Any band will tell you that, right? That's why Jay-Z still tours. Like that's where they make their money, or they bring more artists with them and they all make the money that way. But with Netflix, I'm like, you put out a movie and you're just, that's it. Like you don't.
Is Phobia on
You can't
Netflix?
invite people to see the stage
Should be
play,
right.
right? It's not going to happen. I agree though, but I also think that I don't know. Spotify is a great service, and I think that it's great for the fans. And I wonder why, like, how much money does she need to make? This is one of those instances where I'm like, is she just being?
I don't think this is about her making money, though,
Yeah.
right? This is about her calling attention to the fact that she doesn't need the money from Spotify, so she can call out the fact that Spotify's broken.
Sure.
So she's
Wait,
trying to do it for the artists.
I'm
that's
honestly
the thing,
not
right?
well read on it, but knowing how much money she makes off of everything else, I'd imagine that's it.
I think
not
she's
sitting there
upset
being-
at the shitty streaming quality because I hate Spotify.
You can change the quality.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
but still
Mr.
not good.
Audiophile.
I
You're
fucking hate
also,
that
you're
shit,
also
though.
still one of those people
I
that
don't
buys
care.
CDs.
Yeah.
I mean,
I rip myself, and I like that shit.
I care about the fidelity of the music, but when you're streaming it at like 192 or whatever, like that's pretty good. Like that's a pretty
fuck
good.
with
That's
it.
a pretty good sound quality. That's pretty good sound
I
quality.
didn't know you could change the quality.
Yeah, you can.
I'm probably on the world's worst quality Spotify. It doesn't matter.
My
for
quality's
me,
actually
yeah.
dropped a little bit, like more towards 128 because it just streams faster.
Yeah,
But-
see, I can't deal with that.
I mean,
Like,
I think it sounds
hurts
fine.
me to think of 128.
I think it sounds fine. I mean, like I could absolutely tell the difference as someone who like you like can appreciate audio fidelity, but at the same time, it's like I like listening to like live music and stuff, which is like terrible quality.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like it's
But that's different, though.
like, you're not
hearing a studio song at 128 and then hearing it higher is like, oh fuck,
Yeah, but
I'm missing out so much.
I'm not an audio purist in the sense that like real audio purists would listen to it on vinyl anyway. Like they wouldn't listen to it on CD regardless because it sounds the best on vinyl. So like people like Ramon. Buys a ton. You saw his whole collection of records. Like,
Yeah.
he buys a ton of records because that is the purest quality that you can listen to music. So, but like when you're getting into digital recordings, yeah, I agree. Like there's a problem. I used to try to download when I had bigger. When people used like like when you use iTunes in the mid 2000s or iPod and stuff like that. Like you buy high quality music, but to me, this brings. I'm afraid that she has so much power and leverage that she's going to affect the vitality of and the viability of something like Spotify, which would be horrifying to me because Spotify is like a dream come true.
But you say it's too good to be true.
It is. It's way too good to be true. It's unsustainable. That's why they just need to start
I
charging.
don't think it's unsustainable.
Like we're
though.
paying 30 cents a day for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could use it as much as you want. And the thing about Netflix that's so weird to me is that Netflix uses a third of all of the bandwidth in the United States.
Yeah.
And
It's really expensive.
and like they're not charging anything.
That's why people don't make any money on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there needs to be like this is a whole nother topic, but it's about the what people in my life, especially with mobile games, which I don't like, call the race to the bottom, which is like people have expected
Yeah.
to pay nothing for everything.
Yeah.
And we have to build it back up to say like, hey man, like if you're getting a piece of entertainment, you're getting a video, you're getting a movie, you're getting music, you have to fucking pay for it.
Well,
Because
see,
like this whole free thing of it, like or this premium, this like no frills kind of like I'm not paying for anything, like that's fucked up and you're hurting people by that kind of thing. And so I think that like this is a good example of like saying like maybe we need to be willing to pay our artists more because they are a major part of the fabric of our culture.
See, but I think we can though, right? And like, let's take. This is this is the exciting era that we're heading toward, right? Is like, let's look at what we've done, right? And I'm not even about to go on a limb and call us artists in any way, shape, or
I would barely call us cohesive or comprehensive.
I'm not even
at
sure
all.
any of us are human, but we make stuff, and sometimes people enjoy it, and we've given them the opportunity to help support us, and they've done it. And I think that is more than likely than not where the world is going to go. So you pick the artist you like, you give that artist directly money, and that's it. Spotify, I think, and Netflix are kind of a stopgap in that. And maybe they'll play into that, right? When I think about the future of how I'm going to consume content, Netflix plays into it, but I also would love it. I also want HBO. I also want 3 or 4 other key services, and then I don't want anything else. Those are just my a la carte sort
Sure.
of
You're gonna pick, choose, and be done.
Oh,
with it.
we're going.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting there with HBO doing their thing or whatever. Like with standalone next year, it's the fucking Dias cast.
But like, isn't that kind of what iTunes is though for music? Right? Is that if you want to give them money, you give them $2 and you get to buy the song?
it is, but it's an impractical solution because
But how
I
much
still think
more do they need? Like, how much more is a song worth? Like, and I think it's ridiculous, by the way, that a song is worth similar to what a comic book is worth, because I think, don't even get me started on how much comic books cost. They're just way too expensive. Sorry.
I agree.
They are.
I agree. Especially digital.
But you get to that place where it's like,
Digital,
then
that's the one
where do we
closer
draw
to.
the line? Is because I would pay $20 a month to read every comic book ever made. Like, if I could just tap into it. Like, you guys are always talking about
Yeah,
comic books, and I'm like,
Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah.
but I can't do it with DC, right? I can't
Right.
do both.
I'm
like,
with you.
And I can't, and even Marvel doesn't give you the most recent
New
stuff,
stuff,
right?
yeah.
You got to just go back like it's a year or something like that, right? I can't remember.
Yeah.
So it's like we're getting there, is what I'm saying. I look at Spotify as maybe not the end all be all, but it is a great step. It
I
got
think,
me
and now,
into music.
but that's what I'm saying is I think there's another step to be made now. And I
Okay,
think
I
that's
see
what
that.
she's saying.
Okay.
Well, I
Taylor
think
Swift's awesome.
I just think like you said, for
Yeah,
Marvel
yeah.
you would pay $20 a month. Like my whole contention is like we need to be comfortable paying even more for that for these things because, I think
bring Taylor Swift.
and I think that it's worth it because, like we can buy it for 99 cents. That revolution on iTunes was for a song. That's awesome, and you own it and stuff like that. But subscription models really are the thing, and like pooling money to get lots of different things. But paying a premium for it, I think, is really important because I feel that, part of the American culture is not people pushing fucking papers around a desk. It's not your banking service. It's not your fucking McDonald's. It's the people that are playing music on the corner. It's the people that are writing.
Breaks on the McDonald's commentary. Okay.
It's the people that are struggling writing
Yeah.
unique books and selling them themselves on Amazon. It's the people that are releasing indie rock records. It's the people that are making indie games. Like these are the people that it's part of our culture, and our culture is sending really conflicting messages. One is which you don't have to pay for anything anymore. Just steal it, or just or just get it for wait until it goes on sale, do all these things. And the other message is like this isn't sustainable, and you're driving people out of music, and you're driving people out of film, and you're driving people out of games. And we have to just come to terms with the fact that hey, like entertainment isn't free, and even paying cheap, like when we're paying, like for instance, like I was using Spotify $10 a month, like that's 30 cents a day, like that's worth $5 a day if you use it. Like, think about it.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like
maybe that's
if you
harsh, though.
stream,
That's
I mean,
hard.
I'm not going to pay $5 a day
Right.
for Spotify, but I'm saying if you sit in an office all day, 9 to 5, and you just have Spotify playing on your computer or Pandora or whatever, like that's a great service. That's worth way more than 30 cents a day. Maybe it's worth $1 a day. Something like that. But it's to me, it's just an interesting thing for people to think about as we become. I think we are becoming more comfortable with saying like we have to pay for.
Well, we definitely are, and I think that if you'd asked me that before September 15th, I'd be like, no, people don't want to pay for stuff they like. They don't want to go out there. But then if our audience has shown us anything, it's that. Sorry to bore you on this one, Mike Aransky, because you've been like.
You got
oddly
no
quiet.
money about this.
No, but if our audience shows anything, it's that people will come out to support because they are supporting. They feel like they're a part of it, and they are a part of it because they're helping make it happen, right? It's just so hard to think about that and also tie that in with the struggling artist, and then also think about Taylor Swift, who is the top music artist on the planet right now, and like seeing that move as anything but her. It can be seen in two lights, is all I'm saying. One is, yes, she's trying to pave the way for younger up-and-comers to make more money, or she's not getting a good deal, so she pulled her music off of a service that everyone loves.
Or she
That's
just
hard
wants
to
more
rectify.
views on YouTube.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean, I think it was
Maybe.
like,
The publicity, yeah.
yeah, it's a
There's
publicity.
strategy to
It's a
all, but
publicity.
You do make more money probably per play on YouTube than you do
You make a lot more money on YouTube.
Spotify.
Yeah.
It's true.
There was a thing on I can't remember that it was like an indie rock band that asked their audience to they put like a track on Spotify that was just white noise, just dead noise, and asked all of their audiences to just put it on repeat and go to bed, like one night or whatever, and they made like $25,000 on Spotify. And
Smart.
and people were like, Spotify then corrected it, but they paid them. You don't want people to game the system like that. If your music's on Spotify and people are listening to it, you should make.
Sure.
I don't think you should make an exorbitant amount of money, but for a full play, you should be making well more than a fraction of a penny. Maybe a penny.
I mean, I've heard some really bad numbers when people don't have good representation from labels and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've heard things like songs getting 1 million plays and then getting less than $10.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Like that's bullshit.
That's ridiculous.
But
I completely agree.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a topic for another day, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think we discussed it pretty much. A lot of it got discussed.
Oh, I can go way deeper.
We
into all
unpacked a
That's
lot
good.
of it
Hold
today.
on,
Let's
Taylor
unpack-
Swift's
let's unpack
awesome.
it.
That's the end of the
Yes.
story.
Yeah, I feel like I kinda
Even
said-
Colin, who doesn't like her music,
Let's keep it-
enjoys
love
her
it,
as a
Taylor.
Let's
personality.
keep it packed for right now. We'll unpack it at a later date.
Okay.
There'll be information
That sounds
soon,
good.
ladies and gentlemen, on how you can get Taylor Swift.
before we
on the
move on
GameOverGreggy show.
from the Taylor Swift thing, I do want to say in her new video Blank Space, which
Yeah.
I absolutely love because it's more of a narrative thing than Shake It
Tells a
Off.
story.
Sure.
So it's two different sides of like
Definitely narrative.
great music videos. There's a bunch of scenes of her sitting on a bed with a cat.
Yeah.
And I was like, I recognize that cat. That's her
It's
cat.
her cat, yeah.
That's her cat. And I love the fact that I knew that. I was like, yeah, she's doing social media right.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I know how her cat looks. It's good.
Side note, I saw a really cute French bulldog over the weekend, and when I asked the owner its name, it was a little puppy. Like it was a puppy. Like could just barely. What is that period? Like you can't bring them out of the house for a certain amount of time. They can't be around humans or dogs. What?
Never did that period.
Yeah, I don't know what that never.
That's why Portillo's the way he is.
You're supposed to do that. Anyway, this is like this is like the first time I'm taking this dog out, and it was the cutest little French bulldog, and I was like, what is his name? And he's like, his name is Snacks. Snacks, the French bulldog.
How did that have anything to do with Taylor Swift?
Nothing. I just thought
I thought it was going to be named Taylor
a
Swift.
really
Also-
cute name for her cat.
Also, I think
Yeah.
that's Sin's cat's name.
Snacks.
Yeah, he does that. Little Snacks, because that's the owner.
Shout out to Raja. My friend's just got a little dog, and it's in that period.
We
where it
never
can't
even
leave
brought up
house.
the fact that every character I make in a video game, I name Taylor Swift to make it look like Taylor
Yeah,
Swift.
yeah, yeah.
My DC Universe
How does-
Online
how does
character,
Batman look
Taylor
like Taylor
Swift.
Swift?
You're a monster, and I dislike you. I dislike you quite a bit.
It's like anything like Taylor Swift.
She's blonde. That's all it was. At the time, I based it on whatever I can do. You know, the DC Universe Online character creator, not as in depth as you want.
You're a great
You should
talker.
see my Freedom Wars original character, Taylor Swift. And my Elder Scrolls Online looks a lot like her, actually. Or not Elder Scrolls. Well, I did that too, but I mean, I'm talking about Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Colin, what's your topic? Wait a second, Colin.
Yeah.
Before you begin your topic, I want to let you know while you do this, we'll be thanking our Patreon subscribers here who supported us at the tier to support us and get their name on the screen. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you
everything
for your
you're doing.
support. We appreciate it. Thank
We love
very
you guys
much.
so much.
My topic is briefly want to discuss with you guys Christmas presents, specifically maybe the best and or worst presents you ever gotten, like memorable presents that you received as a child or maybe as an adult.
Sure.
And some of the things that stand out to you. So I'll tell you about a few of mine, and then you guys can tell me about some of yours. A couple of them obviously are games. Two games I remember specifically getting very, very well. One is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. I remember getting that. We had our Super Nintendo already, and we got Link to the Past, and I was like, I can't believe that this, I'm playing Zelda again, and it's back to more of the original Zelda roots, not Zelda 2. So I remember that, being very excited about that. Not quite freaking out like the N64 kid, but very excited about it. The other game I remember getting is Mega Man 3. And that was a really seminal moment in my life because I was a huge fan of Mega Man 2 to the point where my brother and I would rent it over and over again from a video store in our area, and they eventually offered to sell it to us because they were like, "Why do we?" Because we were renting it like $5, for every week or whatever, and they're like, "Do you just want it?" Like
you can buy this.
and they're like, "No one else is renting it. Not that you ever not rent it, so we wouldn't know if anyone else was interested."
Yeah.
And I remember going to the video store. Like I remember the whole thing. I remember the way it looks. They had like the things that turn for the games. Like all the movies were on the side.
yeah.
This was like a mom and pop place called Showtime, right next to Ragtime. The pizza
Nice.
and the boxes were all out there, and they had little tags on the front of them that you would take and then bring up. So if the tag wasn't on the box, then you knew the game was out. So I was obsessed with this, and in Nintendo Power they were teasing Mega Man 3, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be hopefully it's as good as Mega Man 2, and it ended up being my favorite game of all time. So I remember very well getting that. And the other present I remember getting is, and I don't remember the name of it, was a huge G.I. Joe Fortress.
Was it the carrier?
It wasn't the carrier. It wasn't the carrier. It was a thing. It was like
the dome thing?
yeah. It wasn't the Terrordrome. It was like a thing that was it was like almost like a sand crawler, but it was
Okay.
taller and squatter.
Okay.
And it came with like a mechanic dude. I think his name was Cross Country, and it was
Badass name.
fucking huge. And it's like still in my basement. And I remember my dad getting mad at me because he was putting it together with me, but I was just putting the stickers wherever I wanted to put them. He's like, "That's not where they go." It's not like and his mind is probably like, "I spent like fucking $200 on this." Like,
It's gonna look perfect.
yeah.
Let's look exactly like he does.
Put
the
the
picture.
star like wherever the fuck I wanted to put them and stuff like that. And I remember how cool that was. Like, I was like, I can't believe you guys got me this thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's so fucking enormous, and unnecessarily big. I don't think they even make toys like that anymore. Like these huge, massive, unnecessary play sets that you have to put somewhere.
Yeah,
Like, where the fuck do you put this?
Yeah, G.I. Joe had some massive toys back then.
So those were just a few of my favorite. Not, I just a lot of great, a lot of great memories, like G.I. Joes and then later Star Wars figures. I used to get a ton of them. So my parents would put them together and like put the bubbles together on opposite sides, so that would be like one package that would look like figures.
That's sick. That's a
And
great
then I would
idea.
be like, I don't know what this is, and I open it, it would be 2 G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
Oh, God, your parents are like the best parents on the planet.
No, my
Yeah.
mom used to do that too. Like, give me clothes box, and then I'd be like, and you open up this video game, it's like, awesome.
You did it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then you didn't know.
Yeah.
Then it was just a minefield out
Yeah,
there.
because I told you the story about I've told the story about how my brother for my birthday got me all 3 Ninja Gaiden games on NES, but put him in a Bass shoebox to be a dick. I was like 7 years old or 8 years old, and he gave me this box with like a smirk on his face. I'm like, I was like 8. I'm like, you got me shoes, and he's just like, and I opened it up and it was just all 3 games, and I was like, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. You're like, you're the best.
I used to get a lot of toys. Obviously, G.I. Joe was huge. Transformers were huge when I was growing up. There was a show called Mask.
Oh, Mask was
God.
awesome.
Oh my
What's
God.
the theme song to Mask, Nick?
Mask.
Mask. Days of Death.
Yeah, it was so good.
Mask was
Mask.
legit.
I've never heard of Mask until last week when everyone
some
around me was
stupid
reminiscing.
reason.
What?
And I watched the theme song. My God.
Best
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
missed the fuck
You get the
out.
fucking helmets that
It
come to the
was so
ceiling?
cool. So Mask, for those of you guys that don't remember it or were too young to remember it or weren't born yet, was sort of a rip-off of Transformers in that it was humans piloting these vehicles, but the vehicle would be either a motorcycle or it would turn into a helicopter. Or in the main character had a Camaro, I think it was, and the doors would fold open like a DeLorean and it could fly. And I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. It doesn't get any cooler. It's never going to get any cooler. I'm stopping right now. This is it. So my brother and I asked for, of course, everything. Because when you got a brother, it's a very dangerous situation.
It's divide and conquer.
Right. It's divide and conquer. Or if your brother doesn't like you, it's he takes all your stuff and you're done. My brother was the divide and conquer kind of guy. So we would ask for everything, and then I don't know why we used to do this. Every 2 days before Christmas, like my mom would put the presents out. So we would wait until they would inevitably go to bed.
Yeah.
We would go down, and in some sort of CIA surgical strike, we would open up all the boxes. All of them. Yeah, and my brother was super good at making sure that the package would come off without ripping, because the problem is the Scotch tape,
Yeah.
once it hits, if it adheres, it'll rip it right off, right? And then you're someone can clearly tell you that you did that. So he was really, really good at that, and it would, every time I couldn't resist, I would be like, I don't want to know what I'm getting. You're ruining Christmas for me every single Christmas, but I'm going with you because I don't want you to know what I'm getting if I don't know. If that makes sense. But I remember the Christmas where we used to sneak up into my parents' closet and they'd keep all of them up there. So I remember that Christmas we got, and that was when we got all the Mask toys, and I was like, dude, he got Matt, I think it's Matt Stryker, I think is the main character. He got the Camaro.
He was.
God.
He got the Camaro, and I got the little Jeep that when you pressed the button shot out and became a boat.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, this thing is the bomb.
Wow.
And I think he also got the motorcycle that if you flipped it, the truss came up underneath it and became
Yeah,
a
helicopter
helicopter.
blade, right? Yeah.
So cool. And I got the truck that when you it had big ass missiles on the back of it, you could just launch them. That was probably my best Christmas, I think.
Man.
That's
pretty
awesome.
That's a good
That's
one.
a really
That's
good one.
That's crazy.
Just real quick, just on the subject of Mask and all these, G.I. Joe, all these things. The 80s were, and even into the early 90s, with TMNT started in the 80s, but up into the early 90s, I feel like we're the best blatant avenues for fucking toys that I've ever seen. Much like Pokemon was an avenue for video games, it was just so blatant. Because when you go back and watch the G.I. Joe cartoons, especially, I loved those. I knew every one of them front to back. I had hundreds of G.I. Joes. I was fucking obsessed with G.I. Joe. The 3 3/4 inch ones, 82 to 94.
Yeah, not the big
And-
ones, the original ones.
Remember the straight arm G.I. Joes from 82? They're really rare.
No.
They didn't. Yeah. Anyway,
No, I don't.
those cartoons are fucking terrible. They're on Netflix, or they were, and I
saw it.
I
watched some
watched.
of
I'm
them.
like, oh, Cheryl and I were this, and I'm like, this is my shit. Like, this was awesome.
This is my jam.
And I put it on. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's my problem with Transformers. It's shit. The original Transformers is so bad. And I think it's even worse than G.I. Joe when it comes to like the toy
It is. And-
shilling
And
out.
I
Because-
agree to that, but it's
Because
still,
G.I. Joe made sense, right? G.I. Joe was like this multinational organization where every time they went to another country, they would encounter more Joes, and those
Yeah.
Joes would help them with whatever the A plot story was. You know, if they were like, oh, we got to go through tunnels, we'll go get a tunnel rat, and he'll help us through the tunnel.
Tunnel Rat was awesome.
Transformers. So I tried to watch Transformers, and by episode 2, you're like, okay, there's a core of like 5 or 6 Transformers that crash landed on the planet.
Yeah.
And they fight the Decepticons, and everything's like cherry at the end of every episode. Then around episode 4 or 5, suddenly just like 30 more Transformers.
Yeah. Episode 4, there's a whole other.
And you're
Cast.
just like,
They explain it.
do they?
Poorly.
They were like on the thing. I guess they were
There's
on.
flashbacks.
Doesn't matter. You're absolutely.
Script written by
Now
a
that
Hasbro
we're thinking
executive.
about it, you're absolutely right, dude. Every single cartoon is just based to sell toys.
Sure, of course.
Well, the Transformers
And it
movie
worked.
is the biggest thing of this, where after 2 seasons, there's the movie. They immediately, spoilers, kill the entire the first characters from the first episodes.
Yeah.
They kill that whole main cast.
so
Yeah.
you can
All
start
die.
off fresh when you figure yourself.
Except for Bumblebee. And then Jazz later. But then after that, it's a whole new cast. And then seasons 4 and 5 are just all new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they realized. I mean, it was the same thing with the
Bring
movie, the
that
GI
hot
Joe
rod
movie. It was the same thing with the GI Joe movie, where they're like, we're gonna introduce Cobra La, which means we need Serpentor and you
Right.
need Globulus and Nemesis Enforcer and all these fucking random ass characters that were all totally different and bigger. I don't remember than the regular GI Joes. Like Globulus was like this long, like snake-like thing. Serpentor was like bigger and he had this beautiful cape. And
Yeah, I remember
Nemesis
that.
Enforcer, Nemesis Enforcer had these huge Nemesis Enforcer had these huge wings and stuff like that. Like they were just avenues for toy sales, and it fucking worked. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it didn't. You know, because I bought
the Sea Spray
Dude,
Transformer.
I just.
So it worked.
I was talking to Tim about this, and I was coming back from I think L.A. or it was either L.A. or New York. I think it was L.A. And I'm in the Delta terminal at L.A. LAX. And
Beautiful terminal.
They have a Mattel store there. Have you been to that?
No, I was fucking around. It sounds terrible. Delta sucks.
It's actually not a bad terminal. They've redone it. Delta's got this whole facelift thing they're trying to do. But I walk into this Mattel store, and there is Mattel, yeah, and there is not one,
They make toys.
not 2, but 3 different walls of Batman toys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I had seen this when I was a child, my mother would have had to physically remove me from this store. I would have been like, because I'm kind of a crazy shopper. Like anyone that's ever shopped with me will tell you, like I vet every single option of everything. Like if
He
there's-
bought these jeans for me, and he made me try on a bunch of jeans to get to these jeans.
We tried everyone, and we tried every jean that fit you, and those look great.
Yeah.
Great.
They do look good.
But if there's 15 Batmans on that wall, I got to know the difference.
Yep.
I got to know where they come from. I got to remember the episode they were in. And if there's not an episode, I got to go find that episode before I can buy. All this stuff has to happen in the store.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to get at.
A lot of work there.
It's a lot of work. And so I'm just like, what a great time to be a kid. Cause
I can't fucking express to you what an amazing time it is to be a child.
must be amazing.
When I was back in Missouri, not this last time, but the time before, not that it matters, I was walking around Target with my friend and her 2 boys, and her boys are super jocks and into sports like she is. But like we made a turn to get to like the bats or whatever, and we're walking on this island. I stop and I turn around, and it's just an entire wall of Fisher Price DC Comics toys for like kids who are still too young to have the real action figures.
yeah.
But I mean, it's this wall, and they are fucking obscure DC characters in there. You know what I mean? Like,
Really?
it's not just Superman. It's also Darkseid, and it's also Green Arrow, and it's also Brainiac, and it's also this, and it's also this, and it's like people from the Fortress of Solitude. And these kids aren't even into it. I'm like, you stop and look. This was literally, I remember when this was a dream world of reading a Superman comic when he was fighting Toyman, and they brawled into a toy store, and there was in the background of them fighting is this wall of Superman action figures with the shield on them and like all these different things. And I remember thinking, I wish I lived in that world. Because it was such a pain in the ass to get DC toys as a DC kid. There was the superpower line when I was I was super young. Remember, like the kryptonite ring that would make Superman fall down and shit.
Wow.
And then there was a huge gap of no good Superman toys. Then there was the Superman Man of Steel one that they put out, which was like related all around the Death and Return. So it was stupid long hair Superman.
Yeah,
then a
that was
Superboy
weird.
figure that was awesome. They never made a Cyborg for that line. King Shark was in there, and it's like, all right, fine. And I remember buying all these and being a persuasive enough kid that my dream was coming true. And this is like when you talk about me being spoiled rotten, because I was spoiled rotten. Well, I don't think I'm a rotten kid, but spoiled for sure. And my parents,
You're the only child.
Yeah, exactly. My parents being like, he's our only kid, we'll spoil him, buying 2 of each figure. So I could have one mint on card.
Oh my
God!
Because not only in my dad's attic, not only do I have my entire comic collection in long boxes, I also have toys that are mint on card.
I'd love to go through your collections.
This
I gotta
thing-
come home with you.
This thing, same thing happened for. Eventually, they did a line called Total Justice. If you remember this, you probably don't. And it was finally a deep cut line of like, we're making a Green Lantern figure, we're gonna make a Martian Manhunter, and they were super limited editions. And like, this is like what my mom thinks back fondly on like us like bonding is like, we'd wake up on Saturdays and she would drive me from different, and I'm like a teenager at this point, to different malls, to go to different KB toy stores to find different total
KB toys.
to find different Total Justice figures. And when Total Justice was discontinued, there was an article about it in Wizard where they're like, we've put out the final line. They're really only going to be available in Warner Brothers Studio stores. And I'll never forget, there's this Parallax figure, Hal Jordan Parallax. Not the Parallax is all stupid in a gas cloud now. I mean, Hal Jordan is Parallax with his cape kicking out. And I was like, everybody get in the fucking car. We got to go to the Warner Brothers Studio store. And we got there,
the Warner Brothers Studio
and I'm
store.
on my knees. Like, and I went to the Warner Brothers Studio store a lot, believe it or
Yeah.
not. Like the Superman bust you were talking about today. And again, like the collection of Superman cookie jars and shit I have in my dad's attic. And like finding these, and people are like, oh, you want these? I'm like, what? And they went in the back and got the other thing out there because there was like a Despero and shit. It was like, fucking yes. Yes,
Fucking-
sir.
I just remember going to like a toy store and barely being able to find a Green Lantern.
Yeah,
and,
no,
and
you
being
couldn't.
Like,
And that's what's so hard to explain to
take
people.
it.
It's so hard to explain to people now of like the days when I would go to Toys R Us and you'd look on the wall and there wouldn't be what you wanted, and then you'd see they used to put the extra stock above, and I would get, me and my friends would boost each other up there to bring down the box because we
check.
knew
Yeah.
that there was, X number of Superman in that
Exactly.
box,
Yeah.
but there'd be one Lex Luthor or whatever we were really looking for. There'd be that one.
That's what I was gonna say was with Star Wars. So with G.I. Joe was pre-internet when I was into G.I. Joe, and they canceled G.I. Joe in '94. When the Star Wars Power of the Force line started in '95, there was a website. Well, first it was Star Wars Insider, which was awesome. I used to buy shit from them. But there was a website called Rebel Scum and
Yeah.
another website called Yak Face, and they were dedicated only to Star Wars collecting. And they would release these numbers where you could. They were like, go into Walmart, look at the boxes above the thing. If the box says blah, 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 like 333, it means that there's 2 Stormtroopers and a Princess Leia and like all these
Yeah.
things. If the box says this, it means, and like, my dad still talks about it. He's like, I don't know why the fuck I did this for you, but like, I would bring you all over the fucking island
Yeah.
to buy these Star Wars figures. He's like, I'll never forget when the episode 1 figures came out. In 1999, he's like, we went to Toys R Us at midnight. He's like, he like fended off, like, because my dad's a big dude, like fended, like they were just like put in bins basically. They weren't even like like on a thing, and like I just grabbed, like we just grabbed everything. I bought like 25 figures that day.
Yeah.
And
Which
like,
one was your favorite?
Darth Maul.
Was
And
there a Watto?
there was Watto, yeah. Watto was in wave 1. But I feel what you're saying, because the whole action of, because I was really, first of all, I remember going, like, I remember Walls, and there was a Child's World was an old store. In the,
Yeah, with the panda.
And I remember just a whole aisle of G.I. Joes when I was a kid. I was like, and I still dream about it. I'll tell you guys that in a minute. Weird. But with Star Wars, I remember the sensation of carding through.
Oh yeah.
Like the action, like I still do it when I go to the store sometimes. Like without
Sure.
even
I
thinking about it.
always
Oh, you
have to
gotta
see.
do it.
I
You
have
gotta
to
do
see
it.
what's in the back.
Yeah.
But you're really good at just doing it without even thinking. Like it's a skill to like and holding the one ahead of it.
Yeah.
So-
I never thought about
The
that.
one-
And I remember the Star Wars figures that were still really rare. I remember all of them. Like Princess Leia was fucking
Yeah.
super rare. Lando was rare.
Yep.
The Stormtrooper was rare. Obi-Wan was rare. Like, and then later on, you couldn't find like the Emperor. You couldn't find like the Royal Guard. Like all these things. And when you saw them, you just picked them up and bought them.
This is the thing. We're talking about this. Like when I was a kid, I remember and this is before there was a Wizard or a Toy Fair, and I didn't understand what I was. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm looking at Donatello and Shredder, blah, blah, and I finally found an April O'Neil after searching forever.
She was the weirdest toy too, because she was like this.
Yeah.
Sure, I know. But you were so I'm with
Was she supposed to be
toys.
driving the van?
I was always very
guess.
much continuity. I wanted like when they put out the Batman line, and it's like there's 6 figures in this line. 4 of them are Batman in different suits, and then I always just wanted the normalest Batman.
Yeah, I don't
and
want the
then,
grappling hook Batman.
Exactly,
Yeah.
I
I
wanted
don't
the
want
normal
Arctic
characters so I
Batman.
could tell a
Trench
normal
coat
story.
Donatello.
And it's the same thing. I remember we were on a trip to. Going somewhere in Indiana, I forget what, and it was the Kmart's had gotten these select boxes, like all multi figures in one thing, and they had a Batgirl figure, and it was like the first animated series Batgirl figure that was there. And I remember we stopped like 4 Kmart's before we hit one in Indiana that had it.
Please
You know
tell
what I
me you
mean?
bought it and you still have that.
Yes, fuck yeah, I bought it. Are
Dude,
you
the
kidding?
animated. Oh, so cool.
It was the best.
I'll just tell you
remember
before we move on real quick. I want to tell you guys this will make you laugh. This is a Colin kind of fucking weird thing. I remember the sensation of buying GI Joes, right?
Yeah.
And opening them, taking the bubble off the card, the smell of the GI Joe, putting the backpack on the first time, the weapon that fit perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. That the snap.
And
it would never be like that again, by the way.
No, never.
That backpack's
And
gonna fall off, and you're gonna lose that thing.
So there's two things. I still, number one, whenever I go to a toy like a New York Comic Con, I always go and look for the old GI Joes, and I just hold. Like I look at all the old cards. I'm like, I remember when I bought Heat Viper. I remember when I bought Tunnel Rat. I remember what they look like, and I just like stare, and I'm like, and it brings me like I almost close my eyes, and I'm almost like I remember
time machines.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is really powerful. The other thing is that I dream every once in a while that. And by every once in a while, I probably mean like once a month. That like I'm in an old toy store or like that I find because GI Joes now, the new ones that are really articulated and stuff, they're like $10, $12 a piece. GI Joes when we were kids were $3, and I have a dream that I find like a stash of them or something like that, and that comes from there used to be a department store called Bradley's in New England, and they closed down. And I remember when I went there during when they were clearancing everything off. For some reason, I went underneath. Like I was like, I wonder if there's anything underneath these toy shelves. And there was no toys, but there was a card, an old WWF card, from an old toy that was probably 15 or 20 years old. And I was like, fuck, like that there's probably an Ames or a Bradley's or something in New England that has just a fucking treasure trove of shit that some kid shoved under the shelf because he couldn't afford it, and then no one went back and found it again. You know what I mean? And it just. It gets me, like, when I think about the toys of my childhood, I get really excited about it. I get really excited about it. Because the toys are cooler today, but they're never going to be as cool in my mind as when I found Alley Viper for the first time, when I got my first Duke or Storm Shadow. Like,
Storm Shadow was like...
When I got my first Storm Shadow, I was like, this is fucking awesome. And when they released the second version, Storm Shadow, with the gray all over his camo or whatever, I was like, this is also fucking awesome.
I mean, especially just for, like, the stories, though, and, like, not to be, like, one of those guys kids these days will never understand, but, like, how rare all this was. How rare it was to find this kind of nerdy stuff. And I'm talking about, like, when, you know, the JLA animated series finally came on, right? And Subway was doing this stupid promotion where they had little figurines on, like, hooks for your backpacks and stuff. Me calling Subways for, like, a month. Waiting for these fucking things to come in and
the
going
McDonald's,
and buying
like all the McDonald's Happy Meal toys. Like I feel like in the '90s that was just insane.
That was madness.
Something else we did. I remember
good ones.
Yeah,
there were good ones.
Power Ranger ones were amazing.
The one that stands out for me is Burger King when they had the Simpsons full-size dolls with the plastic heads and then like the soft bodies. And that was another thing. We needed that whole set, and like me and my parents drove around forever.
McDonald's, I remember they had the Batman and Robin cups.
Yeah.
Like if you were in the '90s, everybody fucking had that cup.
Yeah.
Power Ranger movies, same thing. They had the cups and man.
Star Wars back in my days was like the thing. The Star Wars glasses and ET glasses.
Oh yeah, the glasses.
ET glasses.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well,
What was your Christmas present? Lincoln Logs?
I'm talking about glass. Yeah.
Rocks.
River Raid on the Atari.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we fell in the rabbit hole there. Yeah. Christmas gifts that stand out for me would be when I got WWF Royal Rumble on Sega Genesis. That was such a big deal because that was the first game that had realistic match pacing that ended with finishing moves. I remember being at a friend's house and he had, or it was a friend of a friend because I was just playing there. But like I remember when Crush did his head crush finisher move, and I was like, holy that's a real finisher. And then it ends in a pin. You're like, holy crap, I gotta play this game. You know, this is the end all be all of wrestling video games. It'll never get better than this. And then No Mercy happened, and then it never got better than that. But that for sure. My N64, when I got my N64, because that was one of those ones. I didn't go crazy like that. Because that was another one where I was late to that party, but it was time to get on that train after Sega fucked me royal every time.
Hey,
Knights? You didn't like Knights?
You know they fucked us.
Yeah, I know.
They fucked us good.
I fully accept that.
What was I thinking?
Hey, Sega CD was the jam. Anyway.
It was not. Yeah. It was not at all. And then, another big one was the Game Boy, because that was bought for me by my aunt and uncle, because I remember my mom definitively saying, there's no way I'm spending $100 on a video game system.
I remember playing that at Child World for the first time. That's really funny. The connection of Child World and that. That's really
I'll
funny.
never. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry. Child World. Yep. There we go.
Now I can hear you.
Okay. How far away do I just sound like miles away?
It just gets echoey, unfortunately, in the room.
Okay. Mine it would be a 3-tier if I was like 3 of the biggest ones that I could imagine. First, because I'm old as hell, was Atari 2600 when I got that for the first time. I was just like, oh my god, Atari 2600! And it had Pac-Man, because it was like having an arcade at home.
Yeah. Worst.
Yeah. Years later, found out it was not a very good Pac-Man. Then 2 other toys in the vein of Mask. There was
Mask.
there was a toy called Captain Power. Do you remember this?
Pull it up.
Captain
Power, yes. And the,
Yeah, Captain Power and the something.
No, you think
Captain Simeon and the
Planet?
Space Monkeys?
No. Captain Power. So let me back you up. Okay, Captain Power was amazing. So it was a game toy. So basically what it was, you got this jet with this like pilot in it, and you watched the TV show, which was on VHS, or you watch it on television, and these like red things would flash on screen, and you shoot the toy at the screen, and then if you hit it, you're like, bam! It makes some like green noise on your toy, and you're like, oh, that's awesome! It's working. And if you got shot by this TV screen, you missed. Your guy would launch out of the toy. Didn't really. I don't know exactly how it fully
I
worked.
do remember Captain Power
Yeah.
and the Soldiers of the Future.
Soldiers of the Future. Yeah.
Soldiers of the future.
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
Oh, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, for
Incredible.
people that don't know out there, Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Universe is a 1987-88 Canadian-American science fiction action television series merging live action with animation based on computer-generated images. That ran for 22 episodes in Canadian and American syndication. A toy line was also produced by Mattel, and during each episode, there was a segment that included visual and audio material which interacted with the toys.
Yep. So you could actually like shoot the.
That's the main character.
Yeah.
That is a photo of somebody dressed as the main
That's not
character.
the main character. That's what I remember from my
That
youth.
was Captain Power. That is Captain Power.
Can you please right now send that to me? Text that to me.
Yeah.
That guy remembers.
That's what I remember. That
He
guy
remembers.
right
Is that cosplay or is that the real guy?
I think that's cosplay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this guy's got a really,
Cosplay.
this guy's got an awesome sense of humor.
Send it to me right now.
All right.
That's amazing. And then my third tier Christmas gift I always remember is my father couldn't find, so Voltron was a big deal.
Shit,
So
man,
Voltron, when it
Voltron.
came out that year, every kid was like going crazy trying to get it. My dad couldn't get me Voltron, but he got me the flea market version of Voltron instead,
Yep.
which was not at all
Off-brand,
Voltron.
wrong
Yeah.
colors. Kind of looks right, but it's not right.
Yeah.
No
You're
frills
like,
Voltron.
oh, put it together. It didn't really do as well.
Kirkland Voltron.
Yeah,
Voltron. My mother
That's awesome.
is one of the more savvy people in my life, and she, I think, understood, even though she never really quite destroyed the illusion for me, that toys were really just like cartoons were really just that. They were made just to sell kids toys and get them addicted. It was like a legal drug at that point.
Sure.
You had no choice but to ask your parents for these exorbitantly expensive things, right? You know, like Voltron, when you put the whole set together, that was expensive.
Yeah.
So my mother, when I wanted Voltron, bought me one of the lions.
Oh, really?
And she's like, that's it. That's all you're getting.
cut
And I'm like, Mom, I can't make
Go to your
Voltron
friends who got the other lines.
unless I have all of them.
Yeah,
And she's
Voltron
like,
was ingenious because it really did force you to
You
buy
buy
everything.
all the toys.
Same with
yeah.
the Turtles. I remember the Turtles toys being really expensive, too, for some reason. And they were hard to find.
Maybe that's why my dad
It was like
bought me.
really
Turtles
hard.
was fucking mega huge.
Yeah.
In the late
Turtles
80s.
was hard though because I was like, Greg, I wanted just the normal. Like I wanted normal Michelangelo.
I wanted
not no
normal
freaking
Turtles, normal
bullshit.
Bebop and Rocksteady, normal Shredder, normal. Yeah, I just wanted
Yeah,
the line.
it didn't work out for me with the Turtles though. Like I had Trenchcoat Donatello.
Of course you
yeah,
did.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I had the Michelangelo that stuck his tongue out. I'm like, I don't want that one.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Yeah.
I had the normal Raph, and then I had millions of Leos because he's my favorite.
I wish I knew what happened to my turtles because the only turtles
Blue.
I have still I have Casey Jones because he was my favorite, and I have Rocksteady and Bebop still that are like lying around, and then I have the little mice,
Mousers.
Mousers, and,
Mousers.
and, you would
Yeah.
line, and you would line them up, and
Yeah.
they would like
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't know. I think they came with Krang maybe or something like that, or
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah.
But I don't know like what happened. I don't know where any of the turtles are. I don't know where Shredder is. I don't know where the Foot Soldiers are. I don't know. Like I came across some random toys. Like I found my Terminator toys. I had like Terminator 2
There
toys.
were Terminator 2 toys?
Yeah, there was one where like you could buy Arnold, and then you could press a button on his back and his front would come off.
Oh,
and
yeah,
and he'd be the silver Terminator.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
That's cool.
Nice.
Tim.
Yes. So for me, for video games, the most like my happiest Christmas video game memory is gonna shock you guys.
Pokemon, right?
No, it's not.
PSP. Getting a PSP.
No.
Yep.
Prince of Persia: A Warrior Within,
Oh. Okay.
which is
On
like
what PS2? GameCube?
Yeah.
on I had it on Xbox. I stuck with Xbox for
Oh.
that series. And that trilogy is one of my favorite video game
Yeah?
trilogies ever. I fucking love it. But what's funny to me is like, I got a bunch of video games for Christmas throughout my life. But that one, I got it and I was just like, I'm playing this. This is the best. And I didn't expect it. It was a genuine surprise. Someone random got it for me and I was like, they usually don't get me Christmas presents. They
Yeah.
did. And I was like, whoa. And I think it was that made it so special, was the fact that
Sure.
no way did I see that coming. So that was excellent.
I remember. real quick, just the same vein. I remember when my grandmother got me Madden on Game Gear. And I was like, damn, Grandma, like I didn't think you understood what video games were, let alone a Game Gear game.
I definitely didn't know you knew what the fuck a Game Gear was. Did she also get you like 50 AA batteries?
I was sat next to the outlet, plugged in.
Between that and Nomad, yeah.
So when I was little, though, the Christmas that I just lost my shit was a Ninja Turtles playset. There, I had this one that was like...
Stop listening to the Mask
I just want
soundtrack.
you guys to hear this.
It's good.
I know we're gonna get a copyright.
We're not going to get copyright strike for Mask.
We are. All right, stop. Too much now. You're getting
Interrupting. You're
Having a
interrupting.
moment. You destroyed it.
That was for my brother who watches the show, Matt.
What up, Matt?
So there's
You know what I mean?
the above street level where they would all fight, and then
Yeah.
it went down below to the sewer. So it was the
Sewers.
actual the sewer playset for them.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. But my mom also got me the turtle van.
I never got the turtle van.
Launching those
dude.
pizzas.
Never got it.
Yeah, it would launch pizzas from the top, and
Yeah.
also it had the door that swung open
Yep.
that like you could put one of the turtles on.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
that toy was just like
That was a great toy.
we were
That
just
was
the
the
cool-
jam.
How did
Kevin had the Technodrome, so
I had the
together we would
Technodrome
all play
too,
together.
yeah.
And that was
Wait,
just
they
so
have
much
a
fun.
Technodrome? They
Yeah.
actually-
Oh
yeah.
god,
Oh, yeah.
What did you guys come? I know this is a super long topic. We should
It's
make
not
it
a super long topic. It's a super long show.
in general. I was a little disappointed that there wasn't a uniform height to all toys across the planet.
Oh, yeah, they're
that's
so
always
hard mixing
upsetting.
playsets.
Hated it.
Marvel and DC guys
Hated
they were
it.
lining up when they found
I
out.
thought it was fine. I mean, because everyone, like within the universe, they all made sense.
Sure,
I was
it
always a
would've
little
been nice.
confused why, like, what we were saying, like hundreds of GI Joes were all 3 3/4 inch tall, except for Serpentor, Galopulus, and Nemesis Enforcer. But I like that. Everyone had a different flavor. That
No,
I enjoy it. Why would like Kenner make toys that were viable with Mattel toys, which would make at
Because
the
it would
time
make children
Hasbro was
happy.
Yeah.
Crossovers would have made more sense.
what
Banging
would
them
make
all
sense?
together?
The Mask fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing. Mask was small, weren't they? Really? Weren't
Yeah, they were like this big. They were like really
It's all
small
about the vehicles.
Yeah, they were
because it was
really,
the vehicle.
really
They had to
tiny.
fit in the
Yeah.
vehicles.
I remember that.
Well, like Power Rangers were gigantic. That was the other problem.
Well, it's Power Rangers how they should be. They should all be.
Gigantic.
What is that? 5.5.
They were probably
inches?
like 5.5 inches. Yeah.
That's to me. That is the '90s action figure not internet standard, just standard. It's the best.
Internet standard
I don't know
figure
what's going on.
size.
But yeah, no, like that. I feel like all action figures should be that big, except for the turtles because they're turtles and they should be smaller. That just makes sense in my head
Yeah,
for
that-
some reason.
Another
Shouldn't be
gigantic in
9
that
feet
movie.
Another Christmas thing that I was like, Kevin's mom got me this and it like fucking blew my mind. Was it's a Leonardo, but it was an armor edition, and like it was like each of the Ninja Turtles had a different spirit animal, and Leonardo's was a dragon, and it was like fucking dragon armor that went on it, and it was like shiny blue, and it was the coolest thing ever. Like that was my favorite toy of all time. So he'd always be the main character of the story,
Yeah.
and then everyone else would just kind of play
Yeah.
around. One of my dream passion projects for a video that I want to make at some point when we hopefully
Can have the time.
Our internet
to do it.
superstar.
Sure.
when we're into Superstars is I want to do this thing where it starts off with there's just little kids playing with action figures, and then it kind of like cuts into like Freddie Wong style what the actual story that they're doing
nice.
with it.
I like
Some
that.
crazy ass crossover of just like explaining the story that we all came up with as little kids of why
Sure.
Leonardo was hanging out with the Red Ranger and all that shit.
'Cause it's cool
it'd
as
be
ice.
so fucking cool. And then the last Christmas present
Yeah.
that I want to say, because I feel like Colin will hate me for this or love me for this, was I convinced my dad to get me an entire box of Young Jedi trading cards.
That's cool. I can appreciate that.
I was 8.
Jedi.
So it
No,
makes
it's all
sense.
it's all good. I the Star Wars fandom ran deep when we were kids. I mean, we made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
I know we're gonna wrap this up, and I keep saying that, and then I keep talking.
then you
for
keep
another
giving
35
another
minutes.
non sequitur that has nothing to do with Christmas.
No, I'm just gonna give a quick shout out because Tim mentioned his favorite toy, and one of my favorite toys, which we should totally do. This is a different topic. Was when the 1989 Batman movie came out. Do you
Yeah.
remember this toy?
Why? The Batmobile where the guns flipped up?
No,
Or-
the Batman figure that had the belt that
Oh, right.
came out.
Yeah,
and
and
it was a
then
grappling
he-
hook belt.
I had that.
Oh.
I had that. Yeah.
and you could just let him go, and he'd go.
Yeah, he repelled back up with it.
I haven't thought of that in a long time. I had that.
That was a really good one.
It was
Yeah.
so cool.
That was always the Spider-Man too. The ones that they tried to copy with Spider-Man that made no sense, where his chest piece pulled out and then it looked like webs and pulled up. I'm like, You motherfuckers, if you read a
Have you read
Spider-Man
Spider-Man?
comic, he ain't shooting shit out his chest.
Yeah,
and
why
crawling
did they?
back
Why
out.
did they come out of his arm?
Might as well put it out his ass. That would make more sense. At least it would make what's happening.
Spider-Man, hey Spider-Man.
Hey, Spider-Man! Why is your chest exploding and pulling you towards the sun?
I really hope these days little kids are
Spider-Man
playing
does-
with like a crane playset for Spider-Man.
Swing
When it
him
comes-
over here, Tony.
Is there a C. Thomas Howell
we can
figurine?
only
That would be
hope.
amazing.
3.5.
I do need to
houses.
give a
With
shout
the
out
grants,
to
with the grants.
my mom for the other Christmas gift that I'll never forget. Of course, is the Ghostbuster Firehouse.
Oh,
She'll still complain about to this day about like putting the stickers on and like having to look at photos to make sure she nailed it because she knew I'd cry or something if they were even remotely.
And
off.
you were a fragile motherfucker.
You're either gonna
Yeah.
cry or throw up.
I mean, that's the thing with
You
like.
were one of those fragile motherfuckers.
Yeah, I totally was. That's another. I'll write that down for my top. I'll tell you Fragile Greg stories next time. Fragile Greg.
I wasn't fragile because I had three
Stories.
older siblings. And
Yeah, no,
made sure I wasn't fragile.
I don't even want to. Let's just table it right now. It'll be my topic next week. We'll get
yeah,
into it.
having brothers and sisters versus being the only child. That would be an interesting topic.
Well, I'm just doing Fragile Greg stories.
Fragile Greg.
I'm sure it'll turn into that. All right, my topic this week. It's short because we've gone so long anyway, so this is all worked out in the end. But it's potpourri.
I love potpourri.
Mike, you take our answer.
Smells
No, it's not.
It smells nice.
Not
You
a
put it
big
in
fan
a
of smell.
My grandfather once ate potpourri, thinking it was chips, and he was
I've been
living.
there.
He was
What
living
the
with my,
fuck was he? What kind of
He was
chips
living
was
with
he?
my aunt and uncle, and like.
What do you think that? What?
He's like, those chips you guys left out were weird. It's like, we didn't leave out chips. Like, yeah, in the bowl downstairs. And she's like, that's potpourri. You were eating dried flowers.
Grandpa, what are you doing?
What are you doing? You lost your mark.
smell- his shit
This shirt's
smelled
available
awesome.
on districtlines.com/gameover or not no /kinda funny.
It's gonna be on sale.
It's this is the Thursday topic, so it wouldn't be on sale anymore unless you're listening to the whole show, which then at that point you should go.
Damn it, dude! I really got to figure this out.
So now there's a book in here. We don't
Sorry,
need
guys,
the
you
book.
missed the sale.
We've gone too long to use the book. So here's
Who cares? People like the long episodes. Just do it.
it's gonna be long enough without it. So here we go.
Oh,
First
wow.
off,
Shit,
What's
what?
going on here?
These-
the flasks?
yes, if you remember, there's a video from New York Comic Con at
New York
IGN
Comic Con. Yeah,
of
yeah.
Ink Whiskey, which are these flasks that you get
so
to.
cool.
They look like NES cartridges that you then get to use. Mike, they sent them to the collective. Our friend John Carl at the collective sent them to us. So I'm doing them here, giving
old
inkwhiskey.com a
JC.
shout out. Like I said, it looks like an NES cartridge. You get to drink out of it. I'm linking to the video right now that we did for IGN. Hold on. Let Mike Aransky choose first.
Oh, you get to
You're
pick
taking one
of
home,
those.
Aransky.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Here you go.
So you got the Legend of Drink gold cartridge. You got the
Oh.
gray
There's one
cartridge,
after
and then you got
Adventures of Link
Drunk
and
Hunt.
one.
I'm all about.
They're all Zelda.
No, there's one Drunk Hunt in there, like Dunk Hunt.
I'm gonna go with Drunk Hunt.
Okay.
Drunk Hunt. So you guys are gonna sell it up.
Drunk hunt.
Drunk Hunt. Yeah.
Say that 3 times fast.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take the gold card.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta
this
go.
is hard. I mean,
Original.
The gray cards exist for Zelda and Zelda
Take
2.
it.
which one do you want?
It doesn't matter to me.
That doesn't matter.
I was never
such a nice idea.
sacrilege.
Such a
I was
nice
never a
idea.
huge Zelda fan, so
well,
take whichever
I
one you
have
want.
to go.
You gotta go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
I remember hearing about this when you guys did this. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, this is a really nice idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. If you're not familiar with the product, again, they look like NES cartridges, but they're flasks. So like, if anybody patted you down at the airport,
Yeah.
like, why are
I
you
love-
carrying a flask?
You gotta
I
blow
love-
it
But the cool
first
thing is
before you drink it.
You pull the plastic thing out, and then it comes with a laminated card that you can use as a funnel to funnel in booze on the back there. Yeah.
I love
That's
the
amazing.
Inkwhiskey.com.
I love the shield on the Legend of Drink is replaced with what looks like a bottle or a cask of some sort, and they have a corkscrew. Like instead of all the symbols that are usually on Link's shield, it has like a corkscrew, a barrel, a shot glass, and Link passed out. With
Hammered.
yeah, with a fairy
Hammered.
just floating above him, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Now the next thing and the final thing
Oh my God, there's more.
from the potpourri grab bag is for Colin Moriarty. It's time to put up or shut up. I got some Crystal Hot
Oh
Sauce,
man.
Oh, we're gonna do the taste test.
and then I got some Frank's Red Hot.
Okay.
Oh.
You claim you can tell the difference based on taste.
Yep.
Oh,
I brought
easily.
one of your shirts, or one of your shirts from
What, for a
districtlines.com. Yeah, for a blindfold. Aransky, you make sure that's on there.
Got it.
I'm gonna set this up here and then I'll put 2 spoons into your mouth, Colin.
I was gonna say I can tell just by looking at them. But
Well, yeah, I know. Well, yeah, by looking, they have different colors.
I can't. My head's too big
Also,
for this to wrap around.
one of them says Frank's, and the
Well, no,
other
you
one says
gotta,
Crystal.
you gotta,
Yeah,
yeah,
smell
double
it.
it over. Just
Just put it on your head.
This is awesome. We need a theme.
Aransky, you need to be the judge and make sure you can't see. You get the.
I can't see. I wouldn't cheat.
Yeah, you can see. He's good.
That's what you say, but I know you well
I
enough.
feel like we need a theme song for this.
Don't do something that like. Don't do the mask song.
Damn it.
Do Red Hot Chili
Oh,
Peppers.
it's falling apart.
It's gonna be really funny now. 2 videos get copyright strikes because the mask song, you assholes. Don't look over here.
I can't see it, Greg.
I don't trust you.
Oh, come on.
Tim, feed him that one. This is Exhibit A. Stop it! We're gonna get a copyright.
But it works so well with what's happening.
Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah, this
All right,
is Exhibit
first
A.
one.
Should we go in?
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Everybody's coming in, Colin.
All right, wait, so you're feeding me?
Yeah.
One second.
All right.
All right.
Now don't make a judgment, Colin. Don't put it in your head which one you think it is.
I'm 100% sure I could do this too.
Then you can play the game right after this.
I'm not sucking on that spoon. I've seen where Colin's mouth has been.
Colin, lean into the mic. Tell us how you feel. Don't tell us your guess
You
yet.
look like an elephant right now.
It's the elephant man.
It's good. It's good. Okay.
All right. Tim, here's subject number
I'm
2.
not a freak.
Or B, I guess. I said A the first time.
Okay. Number 2.
I'm thinking about you accepting the host at church. Okay.
All right.
All right.
You can remove the blindfold. Now, first off, I want to know before you weigh in on your topics. Was it as easy as you thought it would be?
No.
Okay, good.
But I don't know. It's because I can't really taste the second one as well as the first one.
That's also that's a good point. There's
But Frank's was first and Crystal was second.
that's correct. Colin Moriarty, everybody.
Damn.
That's impressive.
No, I'm not gonna go into the fact that he
I
had a
knew
50-50
Crystal was.
shot.
I knew Crystal was second. Like the second I had the Crystal, I thought Frank's was first, and then when I had Crystal, I'm like, yeah.
What'd you say now? You're not
I was
gonna go
gonna
into
say,
what now?
I'm not going to go into the fact that he had a 50-50 shot, but he said it with such resounding
Yeah.
confidence
I love
that
that.
I know he was.
This is why we
he was
love
right.
Colin Moriarty.
Colin Dins.
And you know what's funny is
Trademark that.
he said it.
Put it on a shirt.
Colin Vinced. He said it with such confidence that it was almost as if he knew he was taking a risk by saying it with that much confidence. But then he just did it. You know what I mean? He went full bore into it and fucking nailed it.
Hashtag.
You'll never know
Colin
whether I
was
really
right.
knew or whether I guessed, but I did know.
Colin knew.
I believe you.
Colin
I don't
was
think
right.
it's that not that crazy, but
Even
I
the
just like
texture is a little different.
yeah.
Like Crystal is much more not much more watery, but more watery, I think. than- But they're both very good.
Oh yeah, I love them both. That's what as a connoisseur, I get around.
Next time we'll do the Coke and Pepsi one. I can show you how that.
No, that one
is.
because that one I'm totally with you. That's
so
a no
easy.
brainer.
When people
That's
are
a
like,
slam
what
dunk.
do you mean? They're the same. It's like,
you
come
serious?
on.
Next
are you
time
kidding me?
next time we'll do mayonnaise and Miracle Whip. We'll see if you can tell
Oh my
me.
god,
Oh,
I could
that's
tell
easy.
like. I could taste.
Well, how
how
mad would you have been if Tim feed him and Tim fed you?
I would have fucking went berserk.
a thing of mustard.
I would have went berserk, dude. Oh my god, I probably would have thrown up if you did that with mustard.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
not-
man.
I haven't had mustard in 20 years.
What?
He hates it.
20 plus
Bad
years.
experience
I
at a
hate
New
mustard.
Hampshire
I
McDonald's.
Fucking hate it.
Wow.
Connecticut.
Damn it! I felt
It
like
was
I was
in Windsor.
Oh. I got married in Windsor.
Oh.
Sorry. Go to Windsor.
I'm doing the
Sorry,
mustard. Mustard link is down there for everybody right now.
No, but that was a lot of fun. Nick, I need you to do 2 things for me.
Yeah.
First, I need you to do me when you're accepting the host and the priest is putting it in your mouth.
I don't remember how I did. What did I do? What did I do?
You open
Was
your
it
mouth
just
and then
like-
you put your do
Oh yeah, because I'd be like,
like kind of vaguely sexual.
because I always thought it was weird that someone was like putting something in your mouth.
I know. I never understood why people
I
like
was
like doing
I
that.
don't understand why. Am I accepting this? Like,
A little flicker.
it's like, am I supposed to like taunt you with my
Like a
eyes?
lazy
Like, what's
snake.
going on?
And I'm and I don't know if you can do it on command, so I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm kind of jonesing for a walk.
It's fine. You chose the right one. It's Frank's. I could have done the same. Colin. But you're the best.
So good. Now,
It's my face.
now
breaking
for
into it now.
comparison, please do your Bill Cosby. It's not, for the record, it is not some kind of outlandish thing. He just does a terrible Bill Cosby. Just reading the days of the week is awful. He's like, skibbity bop, Wednesday.
It's Scoobity Bop, that's Jello. Bill Cosby.
Yes.
How you can be so good at one and so bad at the other?
A lot of practice with walking.
Rudy, that's all you gotta do.
Oh, God.
You see,
Well, I see. I can do it. I don't think I can do it.
House of Cosby's.
Cosby's.
That was so good. That
Everyone,
show was so good.
I'm linking a House of Cosby's right down there too. There
stop.
for you.
Yeah.
Man, you're
watching
going
the
on
show,
a
go watch that
a
one.
spree.
I like to make sure that Kevin knows we don't fucking need him and that he could be dropped like a hot potato at any second. Nobody cares.
Jesus Christ.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's another episode of the Game Over Greggy Show. Oh my God. I've never heard this song until now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know Mass.
I didn't know it, but dude.
Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table. Each bring a random topic of conversation for your amusement. If you like that, make sure you pick up the show in audio and video format every Friday at patreon.com/kindoffunny. If you don't want to give us any money, that's totally fine. You can get the rest of it over at youtube.com/kindoffunny each and every day for the next week, broken out topic by topic. So the whole show posts on Friday on YouTube. And, of course,
iTunes, SoundCloud, and all of your favorite podcasts.
Good job on doing that again.
Oh,
job, Tim.
Yeah. Mike Aransky,
Yeah.
thank you for coming.
so much, Mike.
Thank
that was
you
a lot of
for-
fun.
yeah,
You guys.
I'm excited to watch Phobia. What time is it? Do I have enough time? How long? It's an hour and a half.
You got an hour and a half. You can make that happen.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll watch on my iPad.
There you
Christine's
go.
probably playing
That's right.
Dragon Age. It don't matter.
you go.
If you're listening to this on the Friday I can't believe you're just still playing it full fucking volume.
Yeah,
No, let it go. Let it go at this point,
Listen.
motherfucker. Let it ride. If you're listening to this early,
What is this, the longer
districtlines.com/kindoffunny. There's a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale going on. If you're listening, if you missed Colin and I play a best of 7 Monopoly tournament on Black Friday, I'm sure the 8-hour live stream is available on youtube.com/kindoffunny.
Do I need to start it over?
No.
Okay.
That's it. If you missed the exclusive episode of the Patreon episode, it is, of course, available on youtube.com/or go to the Patreon for that. They're all there.
Yeah.
All the links I ever post on the Patreon page are live forever, by the way. People are always worried, I missed the Q&A. Is it YouTube
Yeah.
automatically archives all that stuff. The links are good forever. That's everything. Mike Aransky, I like your hat.
Thank you.
Until next time.
I like you guys. So
It's been our pleasure serving you. Phobia. Do it for a call.